Hello, and welcome back. My name is Cornelia, but you can call me Corny, and this channel is Cornyco, which means Corny Community. We are one. I binged watched this series of The Polygamist on Netflix in about 2 days. I was disgusted. I was triggered. There was so much drama. It was so juicy. I want to go through this and start a conversation. What is polygamy? That means when you marry more than one person, you're in a relationship. The series is based off a book written by Sue Nyanthi. Hopefully I said that right. I'm trying not to butcher names, but forgive me if I do. Though I'm black, I'm not used to the names, okay? I'm not from Zimbabwe. I'm not Zulu. I'm sorry. I'm going to try my best to respect my brothers and sisters. Her grandfather was actually a polygamist and had many wives, but she said there was more peace within that family structure because they were very open with each other. They all knew about each other. They all had a role and all pulled together society for that structure of marriage. So she didn't feel any side effects. She didn't feel it was a negative upbringing. Within that society, there were other men that were polygamists and they weren't truly honest and upfront about what they desired and about the family structure. Basically, there were secret wives that came, and in part, that's what inspired her to write the book. It was published back in 2012. It was released the same time as 50 Shades of Grey. Fast forward 2026, where it's been released on the Black community are talking about it. So let's get into it. Okay, we start off with episode 1. The first shot that we see, this woman, she comes in with sunglasses and I'm like, okay, she ain't come to play. Some people do that when they cry, but it's not so common, at least not in the UK, because we don't get no sunshine. But anyway, she had the sunglasses on. This woman walks up to the casket. Now I'm guessing she's the wife because everyone's looking at her. It must be Joyce. Joyce is the main character. And on either side of her are her kids walking down the center, and you see his casket and it's an open casket. Has anyone else been to an open casket funeral? I've been to one. Hated it. Would never want to do it again. Don't know why in the Black culture we do this. Like, why are we traumatizing our kids and making them look at dead people? Leave it for the adults. Let the kids be kids, for God's sakes. We don't need to see. Joyce walks up to the casket and it's open. The man's dead. She leans down. Why need to take off her sunglasses and she leans over the casket. Things could have ended differently for the both of us, but you believed you knew better. Look where that got you. Motherfucker. F was so hard and I felt the vindication. And in between this, it's around when she said, like, you believed that you knew better. There was like a click, like, and I was like, oh my gosh, so cool to me. You know, on British TV as well, they used to push the narrative that, you know, they're starving. Whenever you see people speak with clicks, it's usually like very traditional tribal spears and the shield, and they're clicking when they talk to some documentary or something. Upgraded, modernized version of people just within the society speaking their native tongue. And I was just like, wow, this is going to be very interesting. If you do watch this, guys, watch it with English subtitles. The real flavor, the real sounds, and the clicking is in place of consonants. So seamless, so smooth. I could be saying, I'm going to make some lunch, but it would be like, I'm going to make some lunch, like that. And you like the dialogue slips from Zulu to English. It actually sounds more British, like London English, not the South African kind of twang that they have, but it actually sounds like British English. So I'm very curious to know members and where they're from. But yeah, that was very interesting to me. Anyway, we hear like tribal voices chanting after she says motherfucker, and you're like, oh, it's like as if she spit on his grave. Music, like the chorus chanting her. And I'm like, oh my God. This is about to go down. I love the drama. She turns around to the audience looking like she's so sad. She is not sad that man's dead. We're in episode 1. And Joyce is an influencer. She's a brand ambassador for this like beauty company called Ivory Oasis, and they're having a meeting on the table. And the woman lets her know, basically, we need your husband to appear on this broadcast or whatever we're going to film, man. So we know from the get-go this man's important and he's got money. A package deal without Jonasie. How she won't keep her bloody job. Basically, in a desperation, she's like, no problem, it's fine, everything's fine, he will definitely be there. In the midst of them having this conversation, he is effing some woman. Heavy breathing, panting, thrusting. They're having sex in between this whole conversation. I'm like, Mirror, it's already started. This man's already cheating on this woman. Does she know about this? Joyce is like, we haven't been happier. Fake smiles. She rolls up to this house. The house is nice, it's big, okay. This woman's standing out there and I'm like, is this the other woman? It is. We know that Jonasie is living with his side chick. Her name is Matipa. They're coming face to face. Matipa and Joyce, like a standoff. And she's like, what are you doing here? I'm not happy that you're here. What are you doing here? And she's like, I'm here to see my husband. I don't even want to talk to you. Where is he? And she's like, Jonasy. And he's like, you're all right, my love. To Matipa. And I'm like, the fuck? Bitch. Obviously, Joyce is not happy, but she says, we have a 20th anniversary vow renewal party coming up soon and I need you to be there. This man don't want you. He's with Matipa. What are you talking about? A whole side chick in your face, playing in your face, and you want to renew your vows. And I'm like, wow, she wants to save face. She wants to pretend that she has a happy marriage. Perfection, control, the image. From the get-go, I know it's going to be rough. Got lots of people organizing this party. They've got money. The house is big. It's beautiful. They're a rich family, okay? So they're filming her preparing for this big grand old party and she's there getting excited. She's talking to the camera. She's like, oh, this is going to be perfect. And she's like getting ready and preparing, like dropping things in about her husband as if they're very loving and they know each other, which they do, but like he ain't with her. They're in the bedroom. While she's picking the clothes, she's like, oh, this is like the good old days. And the mom's like, good old what? It hasn't been good old for a while. In fact, it's been a year since he hasn't been in the house. They haven't been living together for a whole year. And I'm like, oh shit. He's like, cut the cameras, please. And speaks to mom. Basically like, I'm not backing down. That's my husband. The show must go on. And I'm like, okay. She's doing content creation. She's talking to people. She's like, oh, so perfect. So happy. I love my husband. Blah, 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 blah. All that spiel. We're introduced to the kids. I thought all three of them were the kids. They're not. Joyce's daughter, Joyce's son, and the friend. It's like they're going out because they're dancing and they're getting ready to go. The daughter's called Mupumi or Mutumi. I don't want to get it wrong. And the best friend of Mutumi or Mupumi is Lindani. Lindani and Mutumi are gonna go out together for a night out, and the mom's like, take your brother. And she's like, I'm not taking my brother, I'm going to pick up my cousin Sarah. And she's like, I don't know if Essie, her cousin's mother, is gonna let her go. And she's like, no, she's coming because she's been begging me all day. I've got to go pick her up. I've got to go pick up my cousin. While she's talking to her kids, she's got a letter in her hand, and finally they've gone to go out for the night, and she opens the letter. Jonasy has filed for divorce. And I'm like, ooh, seems like he ain't going to that bloody party then. Shame. She's talking to her mom. She's like, he's asked for a divorce. The mother's like, he moved out a year ago. You can't be surprised about this. And cut. We're following the kids and the best friend, and they're going to pick up the cousins, and we're at the cousin's house. Cousin Sarah, her brother Freedom, and the mother Essie. Brothers are drunk, just a mess. He's like stumbling everywhere, and Sarah's ready to go. She's dressed up and she's like, oh, my cousin's coming to get me, and she runs out. The mother Essie seems a bit strict. She's like, oh. They pull up in a convertible. Everybody's happy. They're like, hi, and she's like, hi, cousin. You're not going out looking like that. And she's like, please, mom, I want to go. And then the cousin reassures her, well, we'll have her back at a decent time. You guys can go out until 9 p.m, but you better bring her back. And Sarah's like, yay! So they hop into the car and they drive off. Joyce is pissed because her husband's filed for divorce, so she's on the hunt for him. He owns the whole building, I'm guessing, and the receptionist is trying to hold her off. You can't get through. He's in a shareholders meeting. She's like, bitch, I don't care. I'm going through. She goes through. She finds him. He's like, how the hell did you get in here? And she's like, well, can't a wife see her husband and say that she's got some nerve? How are you going to tell your kids about this? You better take responsibility. How dare you? He's trying to call security. And she's like, really? You got on me? Do you know what? Let me just walk out. But let me just go. Bye, bitch. She's crying in the car. She can't believe it. Devastated. And he doesn't look like he gives a fuck. This man's a piece of work. We see them all in the club. We've got the daughter with her boyfriend, and we've got Lindani, the best friend, who's with her boyfriend. Yeah, everybody's having a good time in the club. And then you've got Menzie, the brother, that's just chilling there. And I'm like, you're kind of third wheeling. Isn't this awkward? Go dance or something shit. But he doesn't. Instead, the other cousin, Freedom, somehow gets into the club saying that he needs to find his ex, and he starts chilling with Menzie because they're pretty tight. They're cool. They're cousins. And Menzie's like, you know what? Lindani, the best friend, and ex, her boyfriend, are going to go dance. They're like, all right, see you later. Enjoy. And Menzie is staring at Lindani, the best friend. He likes her. He wants her. He's obsessed with her. And Freedom catches onto this and he's like, why don't you go and approach her? Steal her away. You need the courage. Take your chance. And he offers him some drugs. And like, this is your cousin. This is what we're doing to your family. Like, he does take the drug, and I'm like, oh my God, is this going to be a storyline where he's like gets addicted to drugs and he's on the wrong side of the tracks? But thankfully, this never becomes anything. I just think it's supposed to establish that Freedom isn't the best kind of person. Joyce's daughter, Matumi, is with her boyfriend. He's ready to get freaky. Okay, he's horny. The teens. He wants to grab her up, love her up, and she's like, whoa, we can't. My brother's right there as well. They're in love, and he wants to have sex, but she's not ready yet. Bear that in mind. We see Joyce rock up at night to her estranged husband Jonasy's home, looking to speak to him. The mistress and her husband, they're upstairs having sex in the bath, and I'm like, oh my God, it's so graphic. We cut to her downstairs. She's calling for his name. But then she sees 2 suitcases and 2 passports. Like, this motherfucker is trying to dip out of here. They're ready to dip out. They're going on a flight somewhere. She sees the tickets. She gets angry. How dare you file for divorce and then you're about to jet out the country? Why have to deal with your that you've left behind? Just run away from the problem. So she gets angry and she gets inspired. She sees a wooden tray full of fruit on the table and she takes the wooden tray. She puts passports in. She lights a match, bitch. She sets it on fire. Then it gets out of control. She starts panicking and falls on the floor. The fire is spreading. She is panicking. She's like, oh shit, what do I do? She's like, oh well. And she gets the fuck out of there. She didn't turn herself in, but somehow the police know it was her. It's like, oh my God, is this how they die? Does he die in a fire? They don't die in a fire. We cut to episode number 2. Locked up in jail. They're questioning her. They're like, what would you do? And she's like, I'm innocent. I didn't mean to. It was an accident. But thankfully, they're still alive. So she's not a murderer. Yet. Episode 2, we start off with the mistress, the side chick. We're going to see how Jonasie met Matipa. Matipa's walking into the building. She is ready to kill. She's looking all nice. She's walking through. She's like, I want to see the boss of this building. I want to see Jonasie. She will do anything she can to become successful and get that money. That's her goal. She is a gold digger, but she is also a career woman. Don't get it twisted. The receptionist is like, no, trying to deny her access, but somehow Jonasie is getting out of the elevator. She catches him there. She's got a foot in the door. She says, can I speak to you? I'd really love to talk to you about future prospects between us. Like that kind of vibe. The meeting comes along and they shake hands and they linger holding those hands and you're like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. They both know what the deal is. They know what they want from each other. It's clear. While this is all going on and a love affair is starting, Joyce is at the hospital about to give birth to his son. And this is not the first time I've heard this kind of story. I'm sure that we all know somebody that has been cheated on or started a love affair while the woman's pregnant. This kind of stuff, it just breaks my heart. Horrible person already from the get-go. I'm like, Jonasie, you dog, you couldn't support your wife while she's giving birth to your son. At this point, they're still in love. So he's like, I've got to go to the hospital. I've got to go see her. And she hands him a napkin on the way out and we can celebrate together if you want. Come and meet me at this spot. And he's smiling to himself and I'm like, oh my God, this fucking... Got to go see my wife. She's just given birth. Arrives and they're celebrating the boy. They're like, oh, he's so beautiful. Oh, I love you. I've got to go back to the office and deal with business, but I'll be back for you. I'll be back for you, my love, blah, blah, blah. He was looking for Matipa. He sees her and he's like, oh, can I have a word with you, please? And she's like, okay. The girl is all up on his office table. She has a leg up on the table and like, she's way too comfortable. The leg up like this with Jonasie and Joyce's family picture up on her knee, admiring the family. She's like, oh, you've got a beautiful family. I'm like, bitch, get your ass off the table. He puts his hand on her leg. She moves it away. She's like, I'm not trying to do all this stuff. He's trying to inhale her. He wants to have sex with her. She's like, no. He's like, did you come all this way to just talk about my family? And he tries to kiss her on the neck and he's trying to get into it. And she's like, honestly, I'm with your brother. Girl, you're already in there. Have they not both got money? Like, it's the family business. Has he not got money too? You are trying to work your way up from head honcho, Jonasie. Rude. The brother ain't saying shit though. He's like, and so what? Basically. And they start kissing. And clearly it insinuates that they have sex on the office table. I'm like, wow, he's going to betray his brother. This man is a dog of all kinds. Mongrel. Cut to Matipa's new office. She's been promoted. I wonder why. Jonasie's brother enters to congratulate her with a bunch of flowers. And I'm like, oh my God, this poor soul. He don't know. And he's like, people have worked here for years and not got a promotion that you've got. Well done, baby. You're amazing. You're great. Like, just congratulating her. And she's like, yeah, about that. I don't think this is working out anymore. And I'm like, it gets worse because he's like, is it my brother? Are you fucking my brother? And I'm like, you knew. What is going on? This is crazy. Throw them all away. She never says yes or no or admits to it. But Jonasie enters the room and he's like, am I disturbing something? The three of them all know what's happening. But he bows his head and tucks his tail between his legs and says, no, there's nothing wrong. Man don't respect himself. He's gonna take it. He knows what's happening. He knows what's going on. And he just leaves like that. And I'm like, wow. We see that Joyce has returned home and she's waiting in bed. She's got a sexy lingerie on. She's ready to greet her man, Jonasie, her husband. She is ready to throw it down and make love to her husband because, hello. He comes into bed and she's like, oh, I've been waiting for you all day. And he falls asleep. And she's like, please, baby. She's like begging him for sex. And I'm like, oh, girl, don't do that to yourself. Let the boy sleep. She's disappointed. Obviously, he's already just had sex with Matipa, probably God knows how many times that day because they work together. So he's very tired and he doesn't want to do it with you. He's cheating on you, girl. Cheating. She's sad. She gets up and she's about to do the laundry and she takes up his clothes and sees lipstick on his shirt. And she's like, hold on a second. Something clicks. She checks through his pockets. She finds these lacy red thongs. I'll be damned. Her face says it all. Her heart is broken. It's in the morning now. The mother's got the baby. They're sitting down on the sofa. You know, us girlies, we have to maintain our hair. We have bonnets. She's got the bonnet on, all right, trying to protect her hair. And the mom's like, have you looked at you lately? No wonder he's cheating on you. And I'm like, Mom, if that was my mom, she'd be like, this ain't happening to my child. She would say, walk the hell away. Divorce him quietly and smartly, but divorce him. I didn't expect her to say that. And she's like, what do you expect? You look like this. You're not taking care of yourself. The freaking young baby, barely a couple of months old, is just sitting there in her arms. And I'm like, she's just had a baby. What is wrong with this character? What are you talking about? She is making an effort. What about Joyce's needs? Rude. Remember, this is still in the past. We're not at the present day. We're in the past, obviously, because Jonasie's still alive. But the mother's like, find that gold digging bitch, whoever she is, and confront her. Make sure you look good, you smell good. Show her who is boss. And I'm like, go to your freaking husband. He's the one that's cheating. He's the bloody problem. Some people just don't take it out on the man, and it's crazy to me. That is the main source. This is the common denominator. For all you know, she might not know. I mean, she does know, but like, crazy. Joyce goes to the receptionist and says, I know you know. I know you know something's going on, because every time he goes to work or says he's got a meeting, he's here. So I know you've seen this bitch. Who is she and where is she? She's trying not to give her the information. She's like, I don't want to lose my job. I'm going to lose your job if you don't help me. And she's like, okay. So she gives her the details. Joyce rocks up to some beauty parlor. Time she's got the sunglasses on. You know it's about to go down. She walks up into the beauty parlor. But clearly, the husband has been booking her in for the same place that Joyce goes to. All right, they both go to the same place. Men are so unoriginal. If you're gonna cheat, at least be original and put them in different places. Pay for them in different... Stupid. Anyway, she's going to find her, and she grips up her head, and she's fighting, tussling with her. Gold digging cheater, you whore, trying to take my husband. She has her against the wall, and I'm like, yeah, one more time, like pushing her up against the wall, and her head's banging. I'm like, oh my God. She pushes someone else that's trying to save her out the way. She's like, bitch, this ain't your problem. She rolls on the floor. Things are crashing and smashing all over the place. The fight is on. The wig even comes off, and I'm like, oh my God, no. Joyce looks like the crazy one. Terrible. And Matipa, gold digging mistress, is like, that's why you're trash. And I'm like, girl, what? She's trying to fight back. This is why your husband's cheating on you. The nerve. She even throws a wig back at her. I'm like, oh my God, get out of there, girl. It's over. But I enjoyed every second of it. It's nighttime. She's back at home, and she's practicing her speech for the party or for social media or something. She's practicing some stupid ass fake ass speech. She's like, Jonasie, what are you doing here? And he's like, I heard that you've been acting wild on the streets. Is this what we're doing now? And I'm like, Jonasie, this is your problem. This is your fault, bitch. And she's like, I'm going to tell you one time, you need to break up with this woman. She is embarrassing me. And he's like, you're embarrassing yourself out there rolling around with that woman. And he's there laughing in her face, like, don't tell me what to do. And I'm like, it's over. I built this house. And she's like, oh, no. We built this house together. Thank you very much. She said, no. I built this house. And now what we don't know in the book, actually, she did help build the house without her father, who has the money, was backing him up and supporting him. She's the one that actually helped open doors for him. Crazy. And he's like, well, this house was not built by Facebook, like her social media and whatever she does on there. And I'm like, the nerve of this bit. So a supportive wife means nothing. Connections means nothing. Rude. You know what? Okay, I'll leave. And you can tell the kids, you can be there for the kids, and you can take care of the kids and tell them why their mother left. And he's like, you know what? Okay, fine. I'll leave. I'm like, oh, so once she throws the kids in there, he don't want to take care of them kids. Like, fuck them kids. He's out. Crazy. Not all, but a lot. Freaking typical. So of course he's going to run out and go and be with his mistress. And this is the whole backstory of why he's living with his mistress. He left his family. Anyways, he goes upstairs to pack a bag, and Joyce runs after her, and she's like, what? You're going to leave? And she's like, what? No. And they're like tussling over the suitcase, and she's like, you can't leave. You can't do this to us. You can't do this to me. And he's like, I don't know who you are anymore. The things that he says. And I'm like, you're the cheater. He's like, she's about to have a heart attack, all right? She is heartbroken. Her man just left the family. Cut to the next day, we have Joyce, the two kids, and the newborn baby in her arm. The daughter's like, this is toxic, Mom. We can't be doing this. And the mom's like, shut up, man. Shut up your ass. Follow me. Let's go. And she turns at the apartment where the husband and his mistress are now living. And it's like, oh my God. And he's like, what are you doing? Why are the kids here? They're shocked. You know what? You want to do this. You can help take care of your kids. They miss their father. They want to see you. She turns to Matipa and she's like, unfortunately, we come as a package deal. It's a package deal. Kids, I'm gone. And she leaves everybody there. The kid's in his arms and the daughter's like, you know, let me take the baby because you don't know what you're doing. So clearly, he's not even a good father. He's a deadbeat, absent father, even though he's got money. He don't know his kids and he doesn't know how to take care of them. The daughter has to take the child. I'm like, oh my God. Do you know what I mean? Like, how do they even love their father? How? After Joyce is gone, she's like, well, what can we do? Guess we need more rooms for the kids. Smart, you know, because if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I would do the same thing if I was her cheating ass, but I'm not. Smart. She's like, yeah, we need more space. We need a bigger place. So that's why he buys the big house for her. And you know he's not going to be present in the kid's life. We know it's for Matipa. She wants a bigger place. All right, spend that dough, honey. But still, you home-wrecking bitch. Then we cut to the scene where Matipa and Joyce have the face-off outside of their big new home. And Matipa's like, you need to divorce her. You need to do something because we can't keep going back and forth like this. And that's what led to him filing divorce. So now we're back to not present day, but nearer to the time. And I need some food, so I'm gonna go take a break. I'll be back. Anyway, I'm back. Remember, she burnt down the house with her husband and his mistress inside. She's in jail and she's having a conversation. She's sharing a cell with another woman. The woman's like, sis, what are you in here for? My husband filed for a divorce and I accidentally burnt down the house that him and his mistress were living in. The girl's like, why didn't I think of that, sis? You're the best. What a great idea. I should have thought of that. You are a genius. Joyce is sharing her woes and that she has a 20th anniversary coming up soon and she doesn't know what to do. So they're sharing their life stories with each other. They're bonding. Under the circumstances, they seem to be getting along quite well. Janice is like, why did you call the police? Matipa's like, well, of course I'm going to call the police. I knew it was her. And she burnt down the house that we were in. The house is gone. She tried to kill us. And she's like, no, she did not try and kill us. I don't like when women don't listen to me. He's already a red flag. He just keeps getting worse. Like, I've encountered a guy like this before, like that can't take authority and bossiness. Like they must be the man and stuff like that. That man's got issues. Watch him. He's probably killer himself. Anyways, Jonasie and Joyce's kids turn up and they're like, Dad, do you know mom's in jail? You need to do something. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, help your wife. Our mother. You know what? You don't care about us, Dad. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna fix this. As we're cutting to the cousin's house, Sarah and Essie and Freedom are in the house. They're talking about the 20th anniversary party thing that's gonna happen. And Sarah's like, I wanna go. Sarah's mother, Essie, is like, oh, I want a front row seat at that party because it's gonna be an absolute disaster. He doesn't even love her anymore. He's clearly cheating on her. Like, Joyce has lost her mind. Sarah gets a message that Joyce has been arrested. And the family's like, huh? What? Your husband's bailing you out and he's outside. She's been bailed out. I knew you. You're Joyce Gamora. DM me, girl. She wants to be besties now. Obviously, Gamora is a huge name. They're in the car and Jonasie says, my publicist is waiting to take our statement about our divorce. So I'm tired. I'm tired of fighting with you. I'm tired. You know what? I'm going to sign them after the party. And you have to attend. How does that make any sense? Holding on. I don't know what this is she's holding on for. Image is everything. And he's like, I'm not doing that. And I was like, yeah, I don't blame him. Like, I'm not rooting for him, but yeah, that's stupid. I wouldn't go either. Joyce is getting ready and preparing for this anniversary vow renewal party. And she doesn't know how she's going to navigate this. But anyways, it doesn't matter. She got no time to think because her daughter comes up into the room and basically says, have you not got any self-respect? Look what he's put you through. He left our family. He's embarrassing you. Clearly doesn't love you anymore. Like, why are you letting him do this? Leave his ass, divorce him. Is this the kind of example you want to set for me? And I'm like, yes, go daughter, go, because it's the absolute truth. She's like the only voice of reason. And what is she, like 19 in this? But she's the only one with sense here, it seems. And I'm like, bloody hell, this is crazy. She's like, Mom, you deserve so much better. And she's like, this is, what are you talking about? This is marriage. And I'm like, marriage is not about struggle, girl, get out. Like, look, I'm not married, but I know people that have been in this situation are still in it, right? And it's not worth your lifespan. Anyway, she ain't trying to hear any of it. And she's like, this is your father. You need to respect your father. And I am your mother. And we're going to get the family back together. I can make this happen. I'm like, shit, she still believes. And the daughter says, if a man did that to me, would you be happy? She's like, oh, nothing to say. Because she's right. Embarrassment. The day of the renewal of vows. Everybody's there, including the cousin Sarah, Essie and Freedom. They got a good old seat to see and watch the tea and see if he actually turns up because they haven't been together for like a year and he's got a mistress. Joyce is waiting, standing with her arms crossed, and you see Matipa. She's looking all sexy in red and she walks up. She's clearly the enemy. She's the devil. She's in red. The ones that know and are looking at her like, how dare this whore, this Jezebel turn turn up. We see the owners of Ivory Oasis, the one that she's sponsored by, and can't wait to see Jonesy turn up. Joyce is like, yeah, he's on his way, he's coming. And Matip is like, oh, is he? Oh, they don't know what's going on, but we do. And Joyce is like, oh, this is, and Matip is like, family friend of the Gomoras. But actually, we're closer than that. I'm like, oh, God, don't say it, don't say it. Oh, it's going to get juicier. And then she goes on to say, Joyce and I are practically sisters. And I'm like, oh, rubbing the salt in the wound. Where is Jonesy? Is he even going to come? Oh, this is so embarrassing. She doesn't stop there. Matip is like, aren't you going to make the big announcement? And the Ivory Oasis people are like, what announcement? And Matip is like, Jonas and I are... Jonesy turns up. Joyce is shocked, but saved from disgrace. He greets Joyce and he's like, oh, my wife. Gives her a kiss. And I'm like, oh, this fake ass bitch. But she's smiling too. So I'm like, oh, you fake ass bitches. It's all a show. Oh, let the circus begin. Matip is standing there watching this all. She is not happy. And you saw her, Essie and Freedom, the other family. And they're sitting there like, ugh, whatever kind of thing. So they're acting all coupley and they're like, oh, yeah, this is yeah. And then they like slowly make their way into like a secluded area. And he's like, how can you be doing this? What, are you crazy? Are you nuts? Why is Matip here? What the hell? And they're arguing back and forth, arguing over who owns the company. And she's like, it's our company. And then some important man, I think he's the mayor or something, or prime minister, he turns up and they're like, hey! It's so comedic. They just snap back into character and they're like, oh, it's so good having you here. Thank you for coming. Oh. The prime minister's wife's like, so glad to see you two together. You know, you're just there for each other. And I know you two come as a package. And I hope you understand that. Basically, Joyce and the wife are friends. And she was like, you better stay together. That message was for Jonesy. Marriage is strong. I support you. And therefore, my husband has to support you. You better just behave, Jonesy, because she's got her friends back. Anyways, it's time to renew the vows. He's doing all the talking. She's like, love is patient, it's kind, and we're strong together, and I've always loved you for all these years, blah, 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 blah. Even though she probably does feel that way, it's just obviously not reciprocated, but he kisses her and everyone cheers. And I'm just like, not feeling it. Oh yeah, the brother's name is Magesh, and he makes a speech. What we got from that whole speech is that Joyce opened a lot of doors for Jonesy. You ain't nothing without her, okay? But also, I still find it crazy that that Magesh is even making a speech, because like, why are you still in his life? Like, he's a terrible brother. He took your girlfriend away. But I guess blood is thicker than water, some say. Absolutely not. Betrayal. Anyways, everybody cheers and they have their special dance, and the extended family is not happy. They're just sitting there like, whatever, rolling their eyes. And Jonasy's whispering in her ears, you need to sign the divorce papers. I'm like, damn. I mean, you turned up to renew your wedding vows, but he's still pushing for this and it's still going to happen, it seems. But this whole thing is just a facade. Just let him go, girl. He don't want you. Lindani, who is Mupume's best friend, and she's flirting with Menzi. Obviously, Menzi likes Lindani, he really fancies her, and she turns up and she's like, oh, you look really nice, you're dressed in Tom Ford, is it? And she's like, oh, I love the finer things in life. And I'm like, oh, okay, do you, girl? So I'm thinking something's going to happen between them and she's going to use him or something like that. I forget to mention is that he got into a fight at the club because he took the drugs. He got very overambitious and he didn't like the way that a guy was trying to holler at Lindani, so he tried to protect her and he got into a fight, and then he got kicked out of the club and they mashed up the club. These men came to hunt him down, asking for money to pay for the club, but his uncle dealt with it, turned them away. So he turned around to his nephew Menzi and was like, you need to grow up and be a man and handle it. This is a constant theme throughout the series. Jonesy and Matipa have a moment alone at the ceremony, and Matipa's like, what the hell? I came here to humiliate your wife and you stopped me? Are you not going to sign the papers? And he just basically blows her off and he's like, he doesn't give no answer. It's Joyce and Jonesy. They're in the room and the divorce papers are on the table and Joyce signs them. She says, here, you got what you wanted, kind of thing. And he starts kissing her and I'm like, huh? And in my mind, I'm thinking back to the conversation, back to what the Prime Minister's wife said about like, you come as a pair. And maybe he felt like his position was under threat if he wasn't still married to Joyce. So I was thinking maybe that's why he didn't sign the papers. Maybe he felt he still cared about her. I don't know. But I thought that maybe ceremony had like a little bit of idea to do with it. Does marriage make sense sometimes? No. Does love make sense sometimes? No, I cannot understand it. Episode number 4, and they wake up in bed together. And I think Joyce is a little bewildered, just like I am. Like, he's sleeping soundly. He don't give a crap. He's like, he's in bliss. He's happy. They just had sex. He's snuggling up to her. He's like, oh, Joyce, my love. Oh, my love. And she's just like made a mistake almost, or she's just confused. It's like, I need to get up and get out of here before Matumi, the daughter, realizes, because more than anyone in that family, that daughter does not approve because she's got common sense. And she's like, I need to get out of here and wake up before she sees. And then Jonasy's like, don't be silly, like, we're married, this is my family, like, they'll be fine. And she goes, I don't want to confuse them with everything that's been going on, it's just going to confuse them. He said, I'm their father, don't worry. We cut to the kitchen, we see Matumi and Menzi. Menzi's like, Dad's here, but he looks actually quite pleased. Matumi is not happy, and she's like, what? They come down laughing and giggling. Stop, he's in her neck, and she's like, oh, stop. Joyce is like, aren't you going to give your father the seat? Matumi don't want to give up that seat. She takes a minute, but eventually she gets up and just leaves completely. Because I would too. Like, what are you doing? The son and daughter, the kids, are having a conversation in the room. She's like, this is a terrible idea. Do you not remember us picking her up off the floor when she was crying? And after he left us, like, he's going to end up doing it again. Why is she doing this? And Menzi he's just like happy that his father's back home, basically. Looking at Lindani, the one that he fancies, the best friend of his sister, on the phone. So Joyce is still confused. Up in the bedroom, she's like, what's going on between us? And he's like, I'm back, babe. I'm back for good. This is our family. And she's like, what? Okay. And basically, this episode is him trying to reassure her that he's back. Meanwhile, we got Matipa. Matipa's on the hunt for Jonasy. She's like, where is he? She goes to confront him when he's out for golf, but he doesn't want to talk to her or deal with her. He just totally starts ignoring her. And she's like, what the what? Joyce is conflicted. She's scared and she doesn't know what's going on. So she goes and reaches out to Essie. Essie is married to Magesh, Jonasy's brother. This whole time I did not know Essie and Magesh were supposed to be married. And I'm like, you're cheating too. What the hell? How are you two able to stay together? I don't know what to do. We're back together, but like, I'm confused. And she was like, give a man peace. This man had peace and he walked away. What are you talking about? She's like, we must endure hardships. Absolutely not. If you endure a hardship, you should not be in the marriage. If it's not worthy of sacrificing your peace, leave it. Have the strength. In fact, it takes more strength to leave. People just be giving crazy advice left, right and centre. Are people actually giving this kind of advice? Absolutely not. Rebuked. She's still insecure. She dresses up sexy and she talks to him and she's like, are you going to leave again? Because remember what happened the last time you left me? And I didn't even know why. And he's like, I'm here to stay, baby. Reassuring her. We're going to do our usual Sunday barbecue and everybody's going to come like we always did. We're going to have a barbecue. And she gets very excited and Menzi's very excited, but Matume, the daughter, is still not pleased. But whatever, they have to do this family tradition of the barbecue. Essie's here, Sarah's here, Freedom's there, and the best friend Lindani's there, the brother's there, everybody's there. And Matipa rocks up and she's like, I need to speak to Jonasy, where is he? And Joyce is like, are you out of your mind? What are you doing in my home? You need to go, you need to leave. And she's backed up by the brother Ganesh and she leaves. Daughter tries to confront Matipa, but Matipa's like, little girl, mind your business. She walks away and I'm like, good try, girl, but yeah, you're still too young. It's a new day and Matipa calls Joyce and she's like, it's not over. He loves me, he cares about me. It's not over. And she's like, you bitch, stay away from my man. Joyce is stressed. She's taking medication for her anxiety. She's on the edge, like she's gonna lose her man again. While Matipa's on the phone, we see Jonasy rock up in the background and he's like, it's over between us. If I had known things would have been like this and you'd behave this way, I wouldn't have even started anything between us. And she's like, wow. She grabs him by the balls and she's like, are you sure about that? And he's like, okay. And I'm like, is he turned on or is she squeezing them tight like he's in panic? But he's like, okay. And I was like, I don't know what she's threatening to do, but she's not happy. It's past and we see Joyce talking to Jonasy and she's like, I can't go. You need to cut her off and cut her out of this company because I can't have her being around you because I don't trust her and I don't trust you with her. So you need to let her go. I call Matipa into the office. Joyce is in the chair and Jonasy's in the forefront and he's like, I'm letting you go. And he's like, I'm going to call security. Calls security and she's like, I'm leaving. The women always leave. Menace is so bad. But anyways, mind your back. I'm going to take you to the cleaners. Basically, she's going to get her revenge. So we got an enemy now. They kiss. And that's the episode 4. Number 5. And we see Matipa is trying to basically blackmail the company. She's like, I know a lot of stuff. You want me to expose you? And the brother Ganesh is like, you ain't got nothing. She's basically trying to get through to Jonasy. She's like, where is he anyways? They've run off to go on a vacation. They are loving it up there. I don't know where they are. Wherever it is, it's lovely. It's peaceful. They're having a blast, having the best time together. I love you over here. I love you over there. And then they start having sex. Anyway, it's cut, but extended family. Essie, Sarah, the daughter, Freedom, that family, they're in the home. She's counting money and she's talking to her husband, Ganesh. And Essie's talking about Joyce and saying, she's an idiot. She went back to him. He's going to cheat on her again. And Sarah randomly interrupts and says, I need a new iPhone. Mom, Essie's like, why do you need a new iPhone? Sarah's got a new iPhone and I want the new iPhone. You're just easily influenced like that. And she's like, yeah, because Sarah's got one and I want the latest one. She kind of has a little hissy fit. And I'm like, entitled little madam, like, excuse me now, go clean. Anyway, she gets put in a place and told off by Essie, and we skip to the main household, the Gamora family. We're back to their household and we see Lindani, the best friend, and she's looking at alcohol. And I'm like, girl, why are you there? Go home. Why are you always there? She's there looking at the alcohol, and Menzies like trying to talk to her, but he's really scared. But he does. He tries to make conversation. Lindani convinces his best friend and her brother to have a house party, and they agree. And I'm like, oh God, here we go. Meanwhile, in the background, Matipa is planning her get back. She's like, you know what? I'm going to get a more powerful man. F Jonas, even though I love him, I'm going to get a better man. Doesn't care whether they're married or not, you know. Who's next in line, do you think, in that world? It's got to be the Prime Minister. I'm like, oh, freaking hell. We get a little brief moment between the daughter and Jonas, and the relationship has definitely strained because he wants to speak to her, but he tries to like establish his grounds as a father, and he's like, look, I'm your father, you better respect me. Giving it all that, but she ain't trying to talk to him. She's like, bah. Joyce, for some reason, wants to return home early. I don't know if she's missing the kids or she feels bad leaving them behind. So she wants to go home early. They go back home early. What do you think they find? It's the kids having a party. Everyone gets in trouble and they get disciplined. They have to clean. During that house party, we see Sarah steal her cousin's phone because she wants a new iPhone. I think she just got jealous and took hers. And I'm like, damn, she must have thought they got money anyway, so whatever. She's that desperate. That's crazy. Her own cousin, I thought they were tight. The brother tried to talk to Lindani, but that wasn't happening because she has a whole boyfriend. Terrible with women. Matumi's boyfriend tried to have sex with her in the back garden, mind you. They were like in the bushes. And she's like, I'm not ready. I want it to be special, not when I'm drunk like this. She got fucked up. She was drunk. And he was like, okay, let's wait, kind of thing. And then it got crashed because the parents ended up coming earlier than expected, and everyone's like, oh shit, they all get disciplined. Matumi is drunk as fuck and she ends up throwing up everywhere, and Menzi, her brother, has to take care of her, and Lindani has to help clean up the whole house because she was the one that instigated it all, so she's in trouble too, even though she's the best friend. Anyway, it's come morning time and Matumi can't find a phone, and she's like, what the hell? Let me use your phone, Menzi, and find my own phone. And she finds out that it's at Sarah's house. I'm like, oh sugar, here we go. She rocks up to the house and she's like, I know someone took it. And she thought automatically it was Freedom, the brother, because you wouldn't assume it was Sarah because Freedom's the one that like sells drugs and he's like on the wrong side of the tracks. It's like, oh wow, she blamed the wrong person. And then Sarah got all defensive and said, what makes you think it's here? You can afford to buy another one anyways. She gets so defensive. I'm like, yes, it's her. Can you not see? The person who was quick to defend is usually the criminal. Get out of my house kind of thing. She gets really angry, and I think she doesn't interpret that as guilt. She just interprets that as like she probably didn't do it. She's just getting upset. But literally, she hasn't on Find My Own Phone, so what are we doing here? But anyways, they leave and nothing is resolved. Anyways, Joyce and Jonas are heading out to dinner, and they're having stuff like that, and it's just all a bunch of nothing. But the thing that does happen, whilst Joyce goes to the toilet, Jonas spots Matipa having dinner with the Prime Minister. She's already making a move. She is quick. And he walks up to the table and he's like, oh, you two are having a meeting. And he's like, yeah, I've agreed to hire her. One man's trash is another one's treasure kind of thing. And she's doing a great job. And I'm thinking, yeah, she's probably doing a great job. Do you know what I mean? Like sexually. Second brother, I gotta go to the toilet, and he pats him on the back. And then he goes to the toilet. And meanwhile, he pushed her up against the wall and he's like, what are you doing? But I can feel the tension, the sexual tension. And Matipa's like, won't your wife be wondering where you are, you know, the father of her children? And he backs off and backs away. It's the next day, and he goes to confront Menzi, his son, and he said, why did you let your friends influence you and turn my house into a madhouse? Speak for yourself. Joyce is like, you've already talked about this, like this is done, it's over with. But you can see he's angry, and I think he's still reeling off the night before when he saw Matipa last night with the Prime Minister. He's angry from that. So he's kind of taking it out on Menzi because it's a party. Yeah, he should be disciplined, but he's just way too angry than he should be. Answer for yourself. And then the daughter steps in and he's like, you haven't even been around. Who are you to discipline us? And he gets more angry and he's like, how the might have fallen. He's like, you want to speak to me like this now? Mind you, Menzi said nothing. The son said nothing. He's on the sofa. Father gets angry. He picks up a glass and he smashes it. And then he goes in to fight and confront Menzi. And I'm like, Menzi didn't doesn't do anything. He's not the one chatting back. Not that you should put your hands on anybody, any of your kids. Shout at your daughter at least. She's the one fighting back. And I'm like, damn, he's really bullying his own son. That's crazy. He's there grabbing him by the neck and everybody's tussling and he's just like, yeah. It's just a terrible family scene. It's like, yeah, this man needs to go. Look how he's treating his whole family. Disgusting. Poor Menzie is in tears. He's crying and he's being cuddled by his mother and his sister. We're on to episode 6 and we start with Joyce doing her campaign for Ivory Oasis and she's there blowing bubbles and her husband turns up, Jonesy, and she's like, and they're doing a little interview together and they're like, angels and demons. I don't know what that means. Like maybe through the good times and the bad times. I'm like, through the struggle, because you guys struggling. It's more struggle than not. Skip. We don't need to see the rest of it. They're having a barbecue. The family have gathered again. It's another Sunday. And it's almost time for the daughter to go away to college. She's got good grades and she's making her father proud. And he's like, one day you're going to take over the company. He scolds the son and says, you need to think about what you're going to do with your life. In fact, you need to come and work for the company. You've got no prospect. Bullying the man over the table. Sarah kind of gets jealous. Well, I don't really want anything. I think like Mitume, but I just want a party, a ceremony for coming of age because I'm going to be a woman now, so that's what I want. Seems like all the men of the family are working for J&J business, Jonesy, so they're all getting wrapped up into the family business. But Freedom works as a construction worker and not like on the board or closely to Jonesy. In fact, he doesn't like Jonas. Joyce is happily sitting in the kitchen and she's talking to her friend and her friend's like, this champagne's so good, like why aren't you drinking? And she's basically saying, I think I might be pregnant. Oh, not another baby. Oh god, like do not breed with this man anymore. You've done enough, girl. And she's like recalling the moment when she got pregnant and her with the baby and how he left her, he cheated on her while she had the baby and stuff like that. And it's just trauma returning to her body and she's getting scared and she's kind of hoping that she's not pregnant. She's just scared that he's gonna leave her again. They're in the bedroom while she's looking at the pregnancy test and he's like, is that what I think it is? And she's like, yeah, but I haven't checked yet. And he's like, well, go on then and we can have a lovely baby and we'll bring more joy to the family. And I'm like, more joy? Do you remember what happened last time she got pregnant and had the baby? Did it bring joy? You left the girl? But anyway, she goes into the toilet and she is freaking the hell out and it's negative. And I think she's actually quite relieved. And I'm relieved for her, thank God. Thought she was lying, but she wasn't. She really wasn't. The whole relationship's a mess. Throw it away. Throw it away like you throw away the pregnancy test. Lindani has a job as a bar hostess and Menzie and Freedom end up going to the bar and he wants to talk to her, but he's got no courage. But Freedom's always been doing this thing of encouraging him to do certain things. Someone's always pushing him to do something. Bloody hell, pushing him to talk to her. And he goes in to talk to her, but he ends up trying to kiss her while she's on the job. She's got the tray in her hand with alcohol on it and everything. And I'm like, oh my God, Menzie. She's like pushing him away. Like, what the hell, Menzie? She's pissed because she's already got a boyfriend as well. No charm whatsoever. Embarrassment. Anyways, we're back at the Gamora's house and Joyce is at home. Her daughter's at home and Joyce's mom, the grandmother, is at home too. Grandmother turns to the granddaughter, Mitume, and says, are you having sex? She's like, no, I'm a virgin. Why? What the hell? And she's like, because I found a pregnancy test. Joyce has to like pull her mother aside and say, actually, it's my test. And I'm not pregnant, but I had a pregnancy scare. And I think I'm going to get my tubes tied because I can't go through that again. I don't want him to leave me because that's what he did last time. He'll definitely do it again. And I'm like, you are telling yourself this, right? And going through this whole calculation of how much of a terrible, disloyal person he is. You already know all this. Why are you still with him? And why are you mashing up your body for him? I mean, if that's how you feel for yourself, but don't do it for another man. That's crazy. Her self-esteem is that bad. It's just totally out the window. She does not love or respect herself. To give yourself up and give your autonomy up to a man, I was like, no. So Mr. Gamora is heading out on a business trip and he's like, daughter, do you want me to bring back anything? She's like, no, not anything. I'm thinking, why are you being so friendly to your dad? But I guess maybe he's been there for a while and she's kind of like warming up to him again. I was like, anyway, whatever. Joyce kisses him goodbye. And this is when she plans to get her tubes tied. She made a whole appointment. She goes into the hospital. She's in the gown and everything. She's ready to do it. She's ready to get them tied. And then she backs out last minute. And I'm like, yes, good. Back out. Don't do it. And she cancels the appointment. But while she's at the hospital, the mother goes out to use the toilet and she's returning back to her daughter. At the corner of her eye, she sees Mr. Gamora, Jonesy, in the hospital. She goes back to Joyce and she's like, I just saw Jonesy in the hallway. He's like, oh my God, Jonas, he can't catch me here. He can't know what I was doing. Oh, okay, let me get myself together. Sorry, I'm going to cancel. I'll pay the fee or whatever. I gotta go. She goes looking around for Jonasy. She gets directed to the room. She walks into the room. You see Jonasy and Matipa with twins. She just gave birth to twins. Oh, 2 babies. How? He has been with this woman this whole time, and I'm like, oh my God. Menzies got his earphones on. He doesn't want to hear it. He can hear them arguing, and he's being really damaged and affected by this. When did this happen? Tell me the truth. You owe me the truth. And he said, it's the day I lashed out at our son, Menzie. I was upset. He said he was just going to get some fresh air, and she popped up out of the place randomly. All these lies and saying, you know, she's been chasing after me and this and that. We see what was truly happening. He went to her apartment. She slaps him. He gets angry, grabs her up against the wall, and he's like, who are you slapping? But they end up kissing, and they end up sleeping together, and they're back into this cycle again. And he has the audacity to say, after that, I stopped talking to her. And I was like, it was the one night stand that got her pregnant, and all this time they didn't see each other. That's crazy. He said, I blocked her number and I chose you. Scene of him spinning Matipa around because she's announced she's pregnant. He's like, I'm so happy I could fly. Like, it's you, liar. But it goes to show, men will say anything to get you back, right? But they be lying. She's crying, he's hugging her, trying to beg for her forgiveness. But then we cut to Matipa with the twins. She's stressed and tired, and she's with her best friend, and she's like, where is Jonasy? I need him right now. I've just had twins. I'm tired. I look a mess. Unfortunately, the friend can't stay. She's like, unfortunately, I have to work. I have to keep food on the table. And I'm like, yeah, because of us have to work. Thank you, mistress. So deal with the kids that you chose to breed yourself up with. You know what I mean? Like, sure. Anyway, you cut to back at the house of the Gamoras. You've got Joyce, and Jonasy's trying to leave for work, and she's like, oh no, you ain't going to work, are you? I know you're going to see Matipa. And he's like, she's just had kids. I gotta go. She's like, no. And she went back in the house, and then he just darts to the car, and she's there chasing after him, making a fool of herself. And it's like, you can't drag the man to stay with you. It's not going to happen. But some people really get that crazy. It's so sad. She comes to talk to her and handle it, and she's like, you've had these children out of wedlock, like with a married man. Are you not ashamed of yourself? And she's like, I just had kids, Mom. Give me a break. She's a voice of reason, and it is true. But at the same time, she's literally just given birth. That is still your kid. That's the last thing she wants to hear. It's too late. Support your daughter. She does support her daughter anyways, but she should have given her a scolding when she first got pregnant, when she found out she first got pregnant. Do you know what I mean? But maybe. Anywho, Joyce is losing her mind, all right? She cries a lot with the teeth. She's like, angels and demons indeed, but now it's just the demons, all right? She's losing her mind. And she goes to some dark alleyway where there's some dark room with a dark man selling some dark guns. Okay, she gone pew pew her husband. She buys a gun, guys, with some wad of cash like out of the movies. She's ready for revenge. I'm like, oh my God, is this how he dies? But then I check, and then like, it's only episode 7. I'm like, he ain't gonna die here, but I want to see what goes down for sure. This scene absolutely disgusted me. All right, Jonas finally gets over to Matipa's house. Hey baby, how are you? And she's like, can you help me? And he's like, well, you need to help me first. Insinuating that he wants sex, and she's like, I just got stitched up and I can't have sex for a couple of weeks. All he cares about is sex. That is crazy. The woman's just had a baby, and he does not give a fuck. He wants to have sex with her, penetrate her in that hole that she just had 2 babies from. Oh, somebody kill him with that gun, please, somebody. Pew pew right now. He goes, well, there's other ways to use that mouth. And he pushes her down. He actually does it and gives him fellatio, guys. These women are crazy for one man that looks like a freaking boiled egg. Meanwhile, he just literally got through the door, right? They're doing all this in the hallway where he can see the mother sleeping, who's been helping her to take care of her babies. That's crazy. I'm like, whoa, he's a piece of work. Anyways, cut back to the house of the Gamoras. We got the brother and sister, and they're talking about saving their mom because she's just a mess. But they can't really talk for long because the best friend rolls up Lindani, and the cousin Sarah rolls up too, and congratulating Matumi, the daughter, on her getting some random interview. I don't even know why, but whatever. Menzie apologizes to Lindani for trying to kiss her and making that stupid move in the bar that she works at. And she forgives him. But he drops the bomb that he's in love with her, and he just wants a chance to take care of her, even though she's in a relationship. He really does love her. And she's laughing like, Menzie, and she walks back to the room to go talk to her bestie. Matipa and Jonas are cooing over the twins, and the mother is sitting there in the corner just looking at Jonas like, you piece of work. And I'm like, ones that have got sense hate him, and I'm with your mom. He's terrible. And she's like, look how you trapped my daughter. Like, And I'm just like, Joyce is in the bedroom. She's got a phone in hand. She's looking out the window. She is dark. She's ready to go demon mode. She's all dressed in black too, for real. She calls up Jonas and she's like, I've had time to think things through and I want you to come home and talk with me. So he leaves Matipa ready to come home. Matipa doesn't want him to go because obviously she's just had kids and she wants him to stay in the home and help her support these new babies that he bred her up with. But he says, I gotta go. What do you want me to do? I'm married to this woman. I gotta go. So he goes back home. Joyce is talking to mom and she's like, I need you to clear out the house, take the kids somewhere. I need to have time alone with my husband. That interview that the daughter's got, it ain't happening. Jonasy is coming home. But he's gonna go to heaven. Episode 9, and Joyce is pointing that gun at the door. She looks angry. She's like, I'm ready to do it. Pew, pew. He walks through the door and she drops the gun. She's like that. They're just staring at each other and then they both look at the gun and leap to get the gun and they're doing a tussle. And usually in movies, this is when someone gets shot, but nobody gets shot. Jonasy manages to pull the gun away from her and he's like, why were you trying to kill yourself? This guy is so conceited, such a narcissist, that he thought that his wife could never turn against him, that she loves him so much that she'd rather kill herself before she kills him. That's crazy. I was like, wow, this man's delusional, but I was laughing. She's there laughing. He's like, what are you doing? Are you trying to kill yourself? And she's like, what am I supposed to do? She says, how am I supposed to move on from all this? I'm a laughing joke. And he's like, we'll get through this. Crazy. Episode 8. We're back with Matipa and her mother is embarrassed and ashamed. She says, my grandchildren are children of adultery. And I'm like, God, but damn, let her rest, man. So what you gonna do? This is shameful. He's made a fool of our family. And I'm like, yeah, he has. He really has. And himself and everybody else. Everybody that touches him is around him. He's making a mess of. Literally, the bad apple spoils the barrel. Now, this part was funny to me because we have Jonasy talking to his brother and he's like, you know what, I caught Joyce trying to kill herself. And then we cut to Joyce and she's like, I was going to kill him to her friend, to her bestie. She's saying that to her bestie and I was like, oh, damn, 2 different stories. Only one is correct. Punching the bags while she's saying all this, she's just got rage and she's going to Matipa's. Girl, the problem is not Matipa, it's your husband. Get rid of him. Cut out the cancer. Okay, cut him out. Let him go. But anyways, she turns up at Matipa's house and she's like, what will it take for you to leave my husband? Like, she angry. And I'm like, oh God, she's doing a whole lot. And also, I know you hate the woman, but what did the kids do? Matipa's just over it. And she's like, I'm not leaving. I love the man. He loves me. Like, I'm just not going anywhere. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Nothing. I'm here to stay, bitch. Do you want me to deny the opportunity for them to know their father? Because it ain't happening. And she has the audacity to turn around and call Joyce selfish. And I'm like, girl, you're the one that took her man. You're the mistress. Crazy. Jonasy and Joyce and the brother Ganesh sitting in a room. And Joyce is like, I have an announcement. And she goes, I think that we should get married to Matipa. She's accepting it now. She's fine. She's gone so far into hell. She's going to go lower. She's like, you know what? I give up. You can have my man. And I'll have him too. We're in this predicament. And I ain't leaving. So I'm allow you to marry Matipa as a second wife. And I'm like, oh, do you still love a man like that? That's crazy. It's like, Ganesh takes her to the side and is like, are you sure about this? This is kind of crazy. And Joyce is like, I have no other choice. I have to protect my legacy. Basically, she needs to protect her money. She's thinking from a money point and her children. And she's thinking she'd rather stay with him and suffer. Even though these children are adults practically, never stay for the kids. Sorry. Is that bad to say? I'm not married, but I would never. I'm out. Anyways, we see later that night, Jonasy goes to see Matipa and he's like, I'm here to bring you really good news. And she's like, what? And he's like, we can get married. Oh my God, Jonasy, I'm so happy. And us and the twins are going to live together and be happy together. And he's like, you're going to be a second wife. And she's like, what? Come again? She is popping off and she's, I'm not playing second fiddle to her. Second best. Absolutely not. And he's like, look, that's the way it's got to be. I love you, but you're going to have to be second wife. Welcome to the family. Everybody around them is like, are you crazy? Are you guys crazy? Matipa's mother's upset and he's like, you're smart, you're beautiful, you have a lot going for you. Why are you reducing yourself to being the second wife? And she's like, I love him, I care about him, and I want the kids to be in his life, and I've got to do then, you know, and become the second wife. Like, she just threw everything away. All women threw everything away for this man. Crazy. Cut to a very unhappy day of people celebrating in their traditional wear in the house, and she's dressed up in the African gear and stuff. But would you be pleased being the second wife in a polygamist family? No, bye. But it's night time and they have a family dinner and Joyce has to break the news to the kids. Matipa has become a part of the family. Obviously the kids are upset. They're like, this is your new mother. They're like, oh, hell no. I'm out. And I don't blame them. They have not taken it very well, losing it. And the daughter goes to see her boyfriend and she's like trying to have sex with him. But he's like, I don't want to have sex like this. I thought you wanted it to be special. And she was like, yeah, you're right. And she's just telling her woes to her boyfriend. And it's a very sweet moment because they're so in love and so close. And it's a sweet moment because he's there for her. He's supporting her while she cries in his arms about this whole shitty situation about getting a second mother in the family is trash. And she hates him. Anyway, everyone's left the table and it's just those three, Jonasie, Joyce and Matipa at the table, and Joyce is setting some ground rules. She's like, you know what, if you're going to be in this family, Jonasie is going to come to my bed and our house every single night, regardless. Sorry, honey. Obviously, she has to accept it, but she's acting like she's got a say in anything. And she's like, these legs did not open themselves. And nobody's looking at Jonasie. He's the winner in all of this, just sitting back on the chair like, my wives. And I'm like... I'm hoping that they both team up to kill him. I do, low-key. Anyways, episode 9, and Joyce is having her moment in the limelight with Ivory Oasis, the place that she's sponsored by, and she's talking through the microphone. And we've been crushing it. We've been doing so well with sales and blah, 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 like giving the PR talk. And then everybody gets an alert in the room, and she's like, oh, shit. Matipa went and posted a picture of her and her twins saying, congratulations, Daddy Jonasie. Love you. She just didn't like that she'd been hidden. You know, she's married to this man now and she wants the truth out there, and it worked a treat. Joyce has no choice but to announce on the spot they've welcomed a second wife into the home because they just want to spread the love and share the love because they're so happy. They don't just want to keep it just for them two anymore. Side-eyeing her, and people are talking about their marriage now, saying polygamy, ew, oh, he must have cheated on her, like all these bad things. It's a Sunday and nobody wants to spend it with him. Everybody's left the house. Forget the barbecue tradition. They are out. And since everyone abandoned him and he needed some love, he goes to his second wife's house and his mother is just leaving. And she's like, I'm sorry, I can't give you my blessing with this. It's an embarrassment. How could you be with a man like that? I can't stay in this house while he's here. And she leaves. I'm gonna see your daughter go down that route and actually physically watch her being eaten alive by this man because he is no good for anybody. Janice is upset at Matipa and Matipa's like, well, you need to stop hiding me. And it's about Joyce. And he's like, it's my first wife. Like, I have to care about her. Like, we have a whole family. He's like, well, we have a family too. What about your daughters? And they're arguing and he leaves. A little bit later, Matipa gets a knock on the door, and surprisingly it's Menzie, Jonas and Joyce's son, turns up to see his newborn twin sisters. And I think he's got such a light heart, and it was very sweet of him to come and want to see his newborn baby sisters, even though Matipa's a complete whore and a homewrecker. He's cooing after them. He's enjoying his time with his new twin sisters. And Matipa's like, thank you for coming and looking after them, because that's the first time I've been able to shower today. So I thank you. I feel so sorry for women who have to raise their kids alone and do this alone, because a lot of women haven't got time to literally eat, shower, take care of themselves, because they constantly have to attend to the babies and they have to be monitored like 24/7. You know, that just made me so sad. I felt sorry for her in this moment, and mothers in general. Anyways, he's getting a phone call, but he ignores it, and it's his mother. We cut back to the mother's house. Joyce is back home now. Jonasie turns up and sneaks into bed, and he's trying to have sex. Come on, Joyce, I love you. Oh God, you're my trying to romance her up, and she's like, I ain't trying. I've got a headache. I'm tired. I've got a headache. And he's like, okay, fine then. And he says, I'll do it myself. And he starts jacking off next to her while holding her on the shoulder. It's such a horn dog. It's crazy. Like, imagine he's just like, oh yeah. Jonasie and Matipa still have conflict over Joyce because she's upset that the twins and her are not getting as much time and attention. And he's like, you know what the deal was. Joyce's life is going to shit because she's losing her audience. She's losing the trust there, and it's not going well for Joyce either. Matumi, her daughter, comes up and says, "Are you okay, Mom? It's okay to cry." And her mom's like, she lets it out and she's crying in her child's arms. And I'm just like, this man is destroying all of you. Please just let him go. It's a new day and Matipa can't seem to find Jonasie and she's still fighting. And she's like, where is he? I haven't seen him. He hasn't seen the kid. She goes to the Gamora house and Joyce is there and she's like, where is he? I've been looking for him. And she's like, oh, trouble in paradise. You lost your man. Well, I'm looking for him too. I don't know where he is, girl. You know, the other extended family, Essie, he's at Essie's house, that house, and he's eating chicken because he can't in the dog house. He's in the dog house with Joyce and Matumi. So he's gone to Essie's house. And we see the brother Ganesh. He pulls up. Ganesh and Essie are married and he pulls up to the house and he's like, what is my brother doing here? And we cut to Jonasie and Essie having sex doggy style on the bed. And I'm like, this is number 3. This is number 3 of the polygamists. This is number 3, guys. We go into Essie's story. Now, Essie actually grew up with Jonasie, that when they were kids, they used to live in the hood. But they grew up poor. Jonasie used to be a player. I mean, used to be. He's been a player from day one. He's loved the girls. He's been a romancer. He was playing one girl for another, kissing one behind the shed while the other one's like nearby. And Essie was the one that would like protect him and say, oh, he's not here, and send the other girls away, whether they're looking for Jonasie and he's busy with another girl. So she's essentially enabling him to cheat, which is crazy, but they're besties, they're best friends. But then one day it kind of turns into romantic feelings for each other. And I think they eventually end up having sex. Clearly is in love with him. And he's like a charmer. He's like a bad boy, but charms her. And he's like, you know, my Essie, you're the only one that cares about me, and I see that, like, real knows real, all that bullshit, right? And he's grown up a little bit now, and he's like, I really want to go to university, but I don't have the money to. I don't know what to do. And she's like, how much do you need? And he tells her, and she gives him the money. This man just uses all these women and then acts all high and mighty. And she saved up all her money because she was a boss bitch, and she did nails and hair and stuff for everybody locally, saved all that money, enough for university, gave all the money to him, and he's like, I can't take this, whatever. The man took the money and he got into university and he was like, you know, you're my girl. I'm going to come back for you. I'm going to give you a house. I'm going to give you all this, yada, yada, yada. You know, wait for me. I'll call you every day. Or just wait for me. And Essie's like, no, you don't need to wait for me. Just study, focus on your studies, and I'll be waiting here for when you return. He doesn't return properly for 7 years, right? Oh, no, he does come back. He gives her a car. When he gets a little bit of money, he says that he's got a job. She finds out in the local newspaper that he's engaged to get married to Joyce. We don't hear about him and Joyce's story at all, which I did not like, but we don't hear about that. We just hear through Essie's eyes that they got married. And then after 7 years, he finally comes back saying that he's got married to Essie, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't love her and he's going to marry her too. So he ends up marrying Essie, that is wife number 3, not number 2. And you see this traditional celebration, and which would be beautiful under other circumstances. You've got the beautiful music playing, and they're there in the traditional gear with the shields and the spears and the chanting, like the African Zulu chant. And it seems all very fantastic and beautiful, and it would be if it weren't polygamous and if he wasn't such a freaking deviant. Do you know what I mean? Oh, this would have been so nice if this was like true love, but it's clearly not. She's happy with this. She's celebrating. She's elated, and they end up having a child together. Guess who the child is? It's not Freedom. It's Sarah. And that's the reason why Sarah was always so jealous of her cousin, which is actually her sister, Matumi. She always knew that Jonasie was her father, and that's why she was always jealous of that family, because that's her sister and she wants a relationship with her father, and she always wants what Matumi wants. Sneakily, he'll visit the house, give them money just to eat and have sex with Essie, her mother. So she marries him and gets pregnant. And he buys her a house. She is so happy. She's like, oh my God, you brought the house for me. Disappeared on you for 7 years and you waited. You had freedom, but you just got terrible taste in men. Like Sarah and Essie at the table, and he finally gives her an iPhone and she's like, oh, I'm so happy. But, you know, I asked for this like a month ago. And I'm like, oh. I feel very sorry for Sarah, because imagine, you know, that your dad is your dad, but you can't say he's your dad because he's a fucking cheat and a liar. And she's being forced to witness that as a secret. That would mess with your mind. So remember, Sarah's coming of age, right? So she wants a big old party. Remember, she said this at the barbecue to her mother. So she's been pushing this, but obviously Jonasie doesn't want her to have this coming of age party. She wants to expose that she is Jonasie's daughter and Essie is her mother. She wants to expose that, and that would be the perfect platform for her to do that. And obviously she's going to want her father there, and the father's like, it's impossible to do that. I'm not going to do that for her because you're a secret, basically. You both are. Episode 11, okay. It's the devil's birthday, Jonasie. Joyce is usually the one to prepare for his birthday. So he's like, I'm just going to sit back and let Joyce handle it because that's what she normally does every birthday. And I'm thinking, I hope she doesn't, because you don't deserve a damn thing on your day of immersion from the pits of hell. You weren't given birth to, sir. You just arrived from the pits of hell. But anyways, we see Matipa talking about his birthday. She wants quality time with him. And then Joyce is like, I'm in hell. I don't know what to do. Like, this is terrible. I don't even feel like celebrating his birthday. In fact, I don't think I'm gonna. I'm like, thank God. Matipa turns up on video camera. She's dressed in red and she's got a tits out and she's like, happy birthday. It's giving Mr. President a Marilyn Monroe moment. Nice try, girl. She's like, I can't wait for you to undress me tonight. And he's like, well, you know, it's actually kind of Joyce's thing. She's the one that plans my birthday. You come again? So I'm not going to see you on your birthday. She's like, you're my husband too? What the hell? And it's my first year of being married to you. And I'm like, oh my God, no one's got no shame. It just makes me feel icky all over. He goes home, he goes to Joyce and he's like, oh, so what are we doing for my birthday? And she's like, today? Oh, I'm sure we'll think of something later. I don't know, like nothing for now. And he's pissed because clearly she ain't gonna do shit for him. He's upset. He runs to Matipa. Matipa's like, now you want to come and spend time with me. You could take care of your kids. That's what you can do. He's in the doghouse with Matipa. He passes it on to the nanny and he leaves and he goes to Essie's house, wife number 2. Essie's there in bed with another man and she's like, oh, he's here. You need to get out of here and hide to her lover. She's like, you need to go. My husband's here. And he's like, you're married. And she's like, yeah. Freedom's there trying to cover for her and buy her time. He's downstairs and he's like, oh, Dad, you're here. Dad, you're here. You're actually here. Yeah, like giving her the signal. She gets a wig on. She looks a mess. She walks down the stairs and she's like, hi, happy birthday to you. And she's like, oh, I'm surprised. And he's like, Freedom, can you go to the store and get him a cake? Freedom, Sarah, Essie and Jonasie are in the kitchen and they're celebrating with this cake that Freedom just brought. And they're clapping happy birthday to you. And Sarah wants to take a picture of the memory. And Sarah hands the phone to Freedom and says, can you take a picture of us? Jonasie's like, you better not post that on social media. And I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible. Freedom's like triggered because obviously like he's helping protect the light and he gets fed up and he puts his hand in the cake. You know what? This is bullshit. It's just all a lie. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Can't you see what you're doing to this family? I'm sick of it. Sarah's upset. She storms off. Jonasie storms off upstairs and Essie runs after Jonasie. And Jonasie and Essie end up going to the bar to soothe his woes on his birthday. They're both drunk. They're grinding up on each other, having a good time in the bar. That what's her name? That Lindani works at. She's seeing Jonasie, her best friend's father, grind on Essie, cousin's mother. Madness. And I'm like, she does not react. She minds her business. And I'm like, whoa. They're drinking and driving, mind you. And they pull up and she needs to go and take a wee. And he says, go and take a piss in front of the car. Bends over and he's like so perverted. And he's like, yeah, stay there. And just after she's had a wee, he bends her over the car and starts doggying her over the car. And I'm like, he just can't give it a rest, can he? Happy birthday to him, I guess. He really got his cake in the end. They return home and Sarah's in the kitchen and she's happily planning her coming of age party. Jonasie gets really angry because obviously he doesn't want to be exposed. But then you've got Essie, her mother, like defending Sarah. Like, no, do you blame her? Like, she just wants to feel seen and respected. And like, you look down upon us like we're your dirty little secret, but we're not. So I can understand how she feels. That's our daughter. That's my daughter. And I don't like seeing her upset. So she runs after her. So they're in the doghouse now. And Essie tries to comfort Sarah, but she's not having it. She keeps the door closed. And Jonasie ends up going to a hotel. A member of staff that must know him brought him a birthday cake and said, happy birthday. And he looks at the cake and he just puts his hand straight through it and throws it on the floor. And then he starts laughing and starts eating it off the floor. And I'm like, what? He's gone mad. He's lost everybody tonight on his birthday because he's such a demon and he deserves to be alone. We're on to episode 12. Joyce is like, oh, good morning. Everyone's sitting at the table. We're booked in for Ivory Oasis, the place that she's sponsored with doing business. Jonasie's like, oh, I never heard about that. Oh, I must have forgotten the same way you forgot my birthday. And have the audacity to cry like a bloody baby because everything he touches, he ruins. And then he has a reaction when everything he touches ruins, gets upset. Just sulking. Like, Matipa turns up, kisses him, and puts an invitation to everybody down on the table for her twins. So, like, they need to be baptized. I'm extending my invite to all of you because we're family. So please come to the christening for the twins. Extended family's house, which we now know is Jonas's second family. And they're in the house and Essie's upset and she's like, oh, look how the twins get treatment. We've been invited to the christening for the twins. That's crazy. And Sarah's there looking at her father, Jonas's pen, admiring it. She yearns for a relationship with her father. Jonasy and Matipa are at Matipa's new place and Matipa's upset and Jonasy says, what's wrong? She says, oh, they've double booked the venue for the twins' christening and I don't know what to do. And Jonasy's like, well, you can just have it at our house. I'm sure if we ask Joyce, she'll agree to it. He doesn't ask Joyce. He just starts planning everything and moving everything that was planned for the venue to the house without consulting Joyce. So Joyce walks in dressed in a gear, right, ready to play nice and be at the christening. When the christening is at home and she's seeing everything being moved in, she's like, what is all this? And Jonasy's like, oh, we're having the christening here. The venue was double booked. What could we do? And it's just like, communication. If you're gonna have wives, you need to communicate, and he is terrible at it. Don't ask her permission or respect the home or anyone else and what they feel. He just moves everything there and she is not happy with it, obviously. So the christening's happening there and she just has to deal with it because everyone's turning up anyway. It's starting, it's lovely. The little twins look so cute. Nobody's happy really. Deep. Anyone related to the Gamora family are not happy. Anyways, Joyce takes Matipa aside and says, how could you even do this? You didn't consult with me or anything. You've got some nerve. And she's like, he didn't tell you. I thought he told you. And she's like, no, he didn't. So I'm like, at this point, I'm waiting for that moment for them to band together, click in their minds like, oh, he's the problem. Okay. But no. The hate is too strong. And you see Joyce saying, you know what they're saying about you on social media. You're a gold digger, you're a home wrecker, and your kids are going to grow up to see that. Not the kids. I mean, it could be true. It's probably true. But like, don't attack the kids, girl. Menzie introduces his sister to his twin sisters. And she's like, how can you tell between them? She's like, pacifiers. They're having a cute and closer, I guess, bonding with the newborn twins, which is a sweet moment because they're innocent in all of this. To be honest, all the kids are innocent in all of this. Poor things. Speaking of the kids and the sisters that don't know their sisters, well, one knows, are in the room. Matume's confessing that she is thinking about popping her cherry with her boyfriend because she is ready to take the next step. He's been so supportive. He's been there for them. She's in love. And then the best friend Lindani takes out these red panties, cutting them in all kinds of places. All right, it's not what you expect a teenager to have in their bag. And everybody's taken back like, what the heck? And I'm even like, what? Girl, that ain't for you. Even when I was that age, I wasn't wearing anything that explicit. Like, goddamn. Actually, I was still a virgin. Was I still? Yeah, I was still a virgin. But anyways, like, still, French panties, not the thongs with the pearls and the holes and the... Goddamn. And Lindani, the best friend, Lindani, continues and she gets the whipped cream out of her bag and she's like, you know where to put this? Here, here, and here. Freaky bitch. And Sarah's like, sex is overrated. And she goes, why can't you wait until marriage? To her sister that doesn't know is her sister, Matumi. She says to her, can't you wait for marriage? And she goes, I'm ready. He's the love of my life. Bong. Sarah says, men like to tap and go though. Where do you think she learnt that from? Huh? Maybe her papa, who taps her mother and goes and dips all the damn time. So already you can see how toxic his family is. It has been made because of him. He's just like the seed of evil. That conversation is broken up because Lindani starts to feel sick and she runs to the toilet to throw up. And I'm like, oh my God, she's pregnant. Instantly, because why would they show us this? She's pregnant by her boyfriend. Anyways, no one's still enjoying themselves and especially not clapping for Jonasy and being happy for them, but they take a fake ass picture of Matipa and the twins. It's cute, but at the same time it's very forced and everyone's like, yeah. But in the background everyone's miserable, like this is some fake ass shit once again. Matipa is walking past the kitchen. Joyce is on the table and she says, Matipa, can I speak to you for a second? Matipa's just like, oh, I'm tired. And I'm like, I'm tired too. I'm tired of you all. After after holding the twins and having a moment with them, she felt like a little bit bad and guilty, but she apologizes to Matipa and says, you know what I said about the twins was really wrong, and I'm sorry for that, and they've always got a home here. They're always welcome at my home. Matipa says, thank you, that's all I kind of wanted. So that was a very nice moment between the two of them, and it seems like they've kind of made up. Sister wives. And Matipa's like, you know what, I can't believe the kind of things that man does sometimes. And you see the daughter, Matumi, walking past like, am I really seeing you two get along? Oh, hell no. She shakes her head. She doesn't say anything, but she shakes her head, and I'm like, me too, because this is, but it's polygamy. Mitumi's like, whatever, I'm going back to my room. She goes into her room and she sees her boyfriend getting his dick sucked by her sister that she thinks is her cousin. And I'm like, Sarah must hate and be so obsessed with her. She did that on purpose to clearly up her happiness, because Mitume was winning in her eyes and she didn't want her to win because Sarah's not winning in life. She's hidden. She can't get the iPhone, the party, doesn't have a bond with her father. She can't even have a bond with the twins because she's not the sister. She's like extended family. She's pissed and she got her revenge by sucking her sister cousin's dick. Okay. She's upset, yes, naturally, and she runs out of that room. She's like, how could you do this? Bongs, bongs. And pushes him and runs out. And then Sarah's just like, la, 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 you freak. She is a hater. Everybody hears her screaming and crying, and they run up the stairs and they're like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And she's like, he sucked his dick, basically. And then they're all like, what? What the hell? And Essie, her mother, is upset and she's like, Sarah, you whore. How could you do that? And drags her out of that house. It's just chaotic. She's crying. She's on the floor. She's going. Freedom the book is punching up the guy, Tumin's boyfriend. They all get dragged apart and everybody leaves. We go back to the extended family house with Essie and Sarah, and they're arguing. How could you do that? How could you be like that? How could you do that to your own sister? And she's like, well, nobody cares about me. Why does everyone think about her and think about that family? We just get left in the... Like, they're arguing back and forth. And then she's like, that's wrong. How could you behave that? This isn't my child. This isn't you. And she's like, just get out my face. And she pushes her down the stairs by accident. I didn't even know they were at the top of the stairs. I just saw her rolling down. I was like, oh my God. There she goes. We're in episode 13. We're at the hospital. Sarah's upset. Her mother is going to die. She's trying to get a hold of her dad, but she can't. So she ends up calling Joyce. Oh shit, it's gonna go down. They're at the hospital. Joyce runs in. She's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's happened? And she's like, it's all your fault. And I'm like, girl, no, it's not. It's your daddy's fault. What the fuck? Joyce doesn't even know. But she's like, what? How is it my fault? What's happened? It's episode 13, the unlucky number. Okay, and it's very unlucky because unluckily, Sarah has told Joyce the whole story of married at all, and it's not his daughter, it's Jonas's daughter. She confronts Ganesh like, all this time you were pretending in front of my face, making a fool out of me, you and Essie pretending to be married. She's the second wife. I'm so sorry, this whole time I keep calling him Ganesh. It's Magesh. Not me calling him an Indian name. Magesh, sorry, I'm not used to Zulu names. So Essie turns up in crutches. She's fine. I don't know why she came to the house, maybe to apologize. I don't know why, but she's better. She's out of the hospital and maybe she wanted to talk about it. But anyways, Joyce is furious. She's like, how dare you? All this year, for 20 years, you have been lying to my face. And you like, well, do you know how it feels watching you up there looking down on us and you're high and mighty like a queen while we get treated like shit? Treated like outcasts. And she says, fuck off, like get out. And I'm just like, fair man, don't mess with Joyce. You're gonna get another gun, all right, and you're next. Sarah actually feels quite liberated and free. She can kind of be herself and be free to talk about her father now. Finally, the cat's out the bag. Feels like it's a whole new world for her. She's happy. She's like, I'm going to go outside. Tra-la-la-la-la. And I don't blame her. Imagine keeping a secret like that so dark for like years and years and years. Finally, it's your time to be open. She's going to take advantage of this moment. So she is out to find her father. Joyce breaks the news to Matipa that Jonasi has a second wife and actually Matipa's the third. They're just both laughing because it's that ridiculous how shady this guy is, and she's like, there's probably more in the woodworks, and I'm just like, yeah, there probably is. When they toasted to Jonasi because they're just like, this man is a piece of work, I'm like, is this the moment where they join forces and finally kill him? Like, come on, I really wanted them to join forces. Anywho, we're at Jonasi's workplace, the building, right, and Sarah is there to look for her father. And she tells the receptionist, who probably had no clue, she's like, oh, I'm here to see my father. And he's like, he's just left. And he's like, oh, not that father, my real father, Jonasi. She's waiting for ages, and he finally turns up in his office and he's like, what are you doing here? And she's like, I was here to see you, Daddy. Now that everybody knows the secret anymore, I'd love to spend some time with you. And she's like, when can I see you? And he's like, you know that man don't want to see her, all right. But he just says, oh, we'll make an arrangement. Just talk to my secretary. And I'm like, oh, goddamn. He don't love any of his kids. That man don't give a fuck. Terrible father. Deadbeat. Joyce is too stressed. She's had enough, man. She's trying to do the Ivory Oasis thing, and it's just not working. She's not giving it her all. She's not giving it any energy. And they're like, is this the best you can give us? And she's like, you know what? Yeah, it is. I'm going through a marriage and it's breaking up, all right. I'm about secret wives left, right and centre. Yeah, this is all I got. And if you don't like it, you can shove it, basically. And she walks out. And I think she just cracked and she thought, this is the time that I'm stepping back from social media. I need a little break. Bye, everyone. Joyce is talking to her mum and she's like, I've had enough. I need to step back. I need some time for myself because this is like breaking me. It's killing me. And the mum's like, you are resilient. You are strong. You know, you've been through this before with Matipa. You can do this again with Essie. This mother is trash too, man. What are these trash humans doing? Everybody is just talking about suffering for Jonasy. It's crazy. Women are doing to themselves for what? And then we even see, this part killed to the daughter, Matume, going to Jonasy, her father, she's reading out a letter and she's trying to say her feelings. And she's like, I'm really hurt what you've done to this family. But he's like turning up the TV volume louder so he doesn't have to hear her. He's not looking her in the eyes. He's not even listening. He's getting up, he's walking, he's drinking a cup of tea. He's doing everything but being present and acknowledging her feelings and listening to her and never saying he's sorry. He's not said anything. Just leave it there. I'll read it later. And she just leaves it. And I felt so bad for her. I was like, neglect. He needs to die. Sorry to say it. He needs to die. The girl is in pain and we see Menzie. He's trying to go on a date and start again because the whole thing with Lindani is out the window and his father has just fucked up the family. He's stressed as well and he can't go on this. Where he goes somewhere else instead. And then you have Sarah, the other kid. She's waiting for her father. They finally arranged to have a dinner together because it's been scheduled. The man don't turn up. She is waiting there so happy for hours. She sheds a tear. She's sad and she finally leaves. Essie and her fake husband, the brother of Jonas. Ganesh, I keep calling Ganesh. What is his name? Magesh. He finally feels free. And so he's ready to date and have his own life because he's just been living a lie this whole time. For 20 years. Everybody is crazy in this drama. It's definitely fictional. I want to see one person pop up and say this is real life because this is for one person like this. Everybody, just take it like that. Menzie's so upset. He's trying to drown his sorrows because he can't get with Lindani and his family is falling apart. So he ends up going to the strip club with his bestie and also his cousin. Well, kinda. His cousin Freedom. And somehow he ends up getting drunk, right? And he's like, you know what? F it. I don't care. And he gets a private lap dance. He starts thinking about Lindani and stuff. And he's like, you know what? I can't. I think I'm still in love with her. Like, he can't. He snaps out and he goes, just go away. And he rejects the stripper. And then he goes to find the toilet. But as he's going to find the toilet, he passes by a room and he sees his father getting his dick sucked by Lindani, the best friend of his sister. When? I need to know this story. Now we're into Lindani's story. She is number 4. I hope this is madness and disgusting because she's like a teen. Episode 14, it's a random night in the Gamora house. We're back in the past. We're on Lindani's story now. And she is looking at the alcohol rack. I don't know why. She wants a drink, a night drink. Clearly, she's not from a stable household because she's always in the Gamora's household. Like, go home. Those kind of kids. Reckless. Problems. Anywho, she's looking at the drinks and then Mr. Gamora, Jonasy, is like, oh, you like the look of those? Let me get you some real drink then. Do you want a real drink? And she's like, yeah. You can see that he wants her and he's like, I'm going to pour this drink. And she's like, you going to pour it? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to pour it. And I'm like, ew, it's disgusting. But there's some kind of weird foreplay with innuendos going on. Anyways, we cut to Lindani at work and she's at the bar. She works at the bar. Her actual boyfriend is working at that bar too. And her mother, she receives a message from Jonasy and he's like, do you like fine dining? And she's thinking about it and she's like, I do have a taste for the finer things in life. Through text. I'm like, oh my God. Books a whole restaurant out for her. And I don't think it's because he was trying to impress her. I think it's because he's trying to get in her panties and he doesn't want any witnesses of him preying on this poor girl. Ugh, disgusting. After her being treated, wined and dined, she actually loved it. He touched her leg, but they don't do anything. They don't even kiss, I don't think. And she's at her best friend's house, on her back, texting Matumi, Jonasy's daughter, picks up the phone and was like, who's this? Like teasing. And she's like, no, give my phone back, don't look. And she's like, who's this? And she's like, he's 45. And he's like, oh, he's old. And he's got money. And she's like, yeah, he's got a lot of money. And she's like, oh, okay then. Does he treat you well? And she's like, yeah, he treats me really good. He's really nice. And a whole conversation about her father, but she doesn't know it. And it's like, oh my God, this is disgusting. Remember they had the house party and they got caught, right? So after, when she's cleaning up, because she's made to stay in the house and clean, Jonas-y, right, going into the kitchen where she's cleaning up, and he tries to put her on the counter, but nothing happens. He's just like close to her and he's like, you know what, we can't play this game of cat and mouse. Don't be afraid. I'm here with you and all this. And it's so sleazy and disgusting. I hated it. But she's like, everybody's here. We can't do anything. And the son walks in and they have to break it up real quick. So basically it was happening even back then. Lindani was doing all this secretly. And Jonas, he turns to Menzie, his son, is like, she's really nice, Lindani. She's a nice girl, right? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, you need to have confidence and get that kind of thing. And I'm like, so fucked up. Anyways, we cut to Lindani in this short little skirt, right, with her suitcase, and she's running and she's like, I'm about to go on a trip. Thanks for picking me up, bestie. Little does she know she's going on a trip with her father, a good bestie. And she's like, he better treat you right. You better be safe. She's like, he loves me. He cares about me. I'll be fine. I'll have a good time. Somewhere else, he owns a very nice fancy home by the sea or something like that. And she tells me, oh, we're going to this area. And she's like, oh, my dad actually owns a house in that area. It's so nice. And I love the Wagyu burger with, you have that? Because obviously she knows that she's going with the father. So she's like, oh, that's something I'm going to try. Oh, like she's getting all excited hearing stories about this place that she's about to go to. Crazy. Anyway, she's so happy. And in the background, he's staring at her like a piece of meat. He's just lustful. He wants to have sex with her. That is his goal for secluding her. Not to take her on a trip, to isolate her from everyone in his own private house in a private island, away from his 3 wives. Oh my God, it's disgusting. Anyway, I keep saying that word and I will keep saying that word because it is. But anyways, she's kind of putting it off and she's just like admiring the place. Like, oh, this is so nice. Thanks for doing this for me. It's a shower. She gets comfortable in bed, but he actually has to go to a meeting. And she's like, go now, go and do your meeting. You're a Gamora, you can do it kind of thing. And he goes and she's there jumping on the bed. She's enjoying herself. She's ordering food and cakes and just indulging. She's spinning in the room. She's putting lipstick. Jay loves Elle and stuff like that. She's just elated in her element. And he finally returns. He's come to get paid, all right, paid with the P. And he pulls out the same red thongs that she showed her bestie and gave to her to wear to lose her virginity to, are the same ones that Jonas-y gifted to her. And I'm like, oh my God, ew. And she's recycling the panties. That is fucked up. She don't give a fuck. She's like, this is so explicit. But she puts it on and he loves it. He starts doing all kinds of things where they're getting the whip. They're experimenting. She's on top. I had to keep it down. I almost threw up. It was disgusting. So basically they had a sex weekend away. It was crazy. They ended up having sex and they were doing all kinds of freaky shit. And she's doing it for the first time. So now she feels like she's a woman. Now Lindani's got the taste of the higher life, the finer things in life, and she wants to treat him and be all sexual. He's got a hunger for sex, right? The best way that she can please him is to sexually please him. So she takes him to a strip club to give him a blowjob in public, which is where Menzie, his son, sees them both. His father has been effing him up with the wrong kind of mindset all this time, and it makes sense because he lives a life of sin. Episode 15, Jonas-y and Lindani are in the bed and they're kissing. She feels a little bit sick. We know why she feels a little bit sick because she threw up at the barbecue too. She's clearly pregnant, but we haven't got the reveal just yet. She's in the bed and she feels a sharp pain and she gets up and she sees blood in the bed. She's miscarried. She's on the floor. She doesn't know what to do. She's panicked. She's having a miscarriage and she's in trauma and she's trying to get a hold of Jonas-y. But Jonas is with Matipa, giving her, he went to Matipa to have sex with her and he's trying to come on to her and give her all this. And she's like, you know what? No, when you can look yourself in the mirror and be happy with what you see, then you can come back to me. Feeling him right now at all. And she's like, I'm not your fucking sex toy, and sends him away. Meanwhile, we've got Lindani crying in the bed, going through like something so traumatic. She signs herself into the hospital. She tells her best friend that she's at the hospital and she doesn't know what to do because her mother is not like really available. It's not a very good mom, apparently. I don't know, and not very active. So I think the best friend calls her mother, Joyce, and Joyce and Mutumi end up going to the hospital to support Lindani, the best friend. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Joyce doesn't get to see, she doesn't know who the father is. She was going to check. She's still hurting. So before she checks the paper of who the father is, she falls on the floor and she's like, oh, it hurts. So she got away with that for now. Break, she'll be fine. I think she's being discharged kind of thing. And she's like, do you know who the baby father is? And Matumi's like, oh, I don't know. And she's like, oh, poor girl, poor child kind of thing. I'm like, yeah, poor child, poor you, poor everyone, except for Jonassy. Going on, Jonassy is having a board meeting with the shareholders and Menzie is supposed to be supporting him by getting some documents and bringing them to him. But Menzie is upset with his father still and going through this because he's still trying to work for the business. But he's rebelling. He throws the papers in front of everybody in the meeting and then exits. Luckily, it wasn't too far in the room, so I think they got to hide that situation in the corner and he wasn't too pleased about it. So he tries to talk to Joyce and Joyce was like, you know what, we don't care. We need a break from you, Jonassy. Sarah put a photo frame of her father and her mother on the table in front of the picture of Mutumi and the twins because she was jealous and she wants to make herself known. You know, the day that she went to see her father, she did that. She comes into the office and she's like, where's my photo? He's dealing with a lot. So he's like, he lashes out at her and he says, it's not all about you, Sarah. Get out. She's destroyed. She's upset. She leaves. Matipa is at the doctor's. I think she's getting some checkup and she's like, I think all right with my health and stuff after having the twins. And the doctor's like, everything's okay, but I do have something to tell you. You have gonorrhea. This man spreading his seed and spreading his STDs to these women. I'm like, oh my God, okay. They're giving another STI. That's crazy. Sarah's still upset. She's back at home with Essie and Essie's like, say something. Freedom, do something, like help your sister. And Freedom's like, what do you want me to say? As mother, you've let Jonassy into this family, into our lives, and he's just ruined everything. You allowed that dog, Jonassy, to come into our home. This is all your fault. And he treated me like an animal, like trash. Something worthless all the way through, and you just stood and watched. Just watched how he treated us. This whole time you didn't care about me. You only care about money? And she's like, no. She said, I'm not with Jonassy for the money. She's definitely there for the struggle, though. It's because she's the ride or die. She's the ride or die one because she's known him from day one. So she's just attached to the nostalgia of the representation of real love, struggle love. And meantime, Lindani's going with this, but Jonassy finally goes to meet Lindani and says, you know what, I can't have you staying in a hotel or at your home alone because your mom's not there. I'm going to bring you to the house. And she's like, I can't go there. Are you crazy? And he's like, well, no, they've gone on a trip. It's okay. We've got the house to ourselves and I want you to be comfortable. Terrible idea. Mutumi gets a bit upset and she's like, you know what, I can't leave my bestie behind. She needs me right now. So I think we should turn back and I should go and support her. They go back to the house. What happens? Joyce sees Jonassy and Lindani in the bath. He's bathing her, saying they can have more babies in the future and that he's going to take care of her and that he loves her. And she hears all of this because they're taking a bath in their bathroom, in Jonassy's and Joyce's bathroom. But she's like, you're the father of the baby. And she starts beating Lindani, like spanking her because she's a little kid. So what else are you going to do? You're not going to punch her or whatever. She starts disciplining her, basically, like whapping her. Kid, which is disgusting. So the whole thing is just stop it. And she's screaming at him. They're going down the stairs. Matipa enters into the house and Joyce tells Matipa what's been going on with Jonassy and that he's been sleeping with an underage girl. And Matipa's like, what? Is she the whore who gave me gonorrhea? The episode ends there and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot my microphone. Sorry guys, I was that into it. Episode 16, Jonassy is just taking his anger out on poor Menzie because he doesn't want to hit on the women, but clearly he wants to hit on somebody. So he chooses Menzie, he gets off his belt and he starts hitting poor Menzie. What the hell did he do? And he's like, you disrespect us and your family and stuff like that. And Joyce is like, no. I don't know if this is a memory. I'm so confused. Them are there tussling. He's trying to beat Menzie up, right, and strangle him with the belt around his neck. And they're like hanging kind of off the balcony. I'm like, is this where he dies and like falls over? Because I'm hoping he's just gonna fall and kill him by accident. Oh my God, Papa! Like, no, he doesn't die. But like, why? And then anyways, the police is called and Jonassy's like, you called the police on me? To Joyce? It turns out it wasn't Joyce who called the police. It was Lindani's mother who comes up with Lindani and he says, look what you did to my child. Look what you did. You beat her, and pulls up her top and she's got like whip marks with the belt. And Joyce turns around and says, and I'd do it again. And Joyce is like, do you know what she did? I found her in the bathtub naked with my husband. She opened up her leg to my husband. And the mother of Lindani is shocked. Her eyes are open like, oh shit. The mother's like, she's been round yours since she was like 8 years old. And she's like, exactly, I treated her like my own daughter. And the mother's like, so you allowed your husband to rape my daughter? So she has a right to beat the girl. At the same time, it's the husband, he's the predator. She's a child. Grooming, hello. Lindani said it wasn't rape, it was consensual. And Joyce wants to beat the hell out of this girl. Her poor daughter has lost her father, her best friend, her boyfriend. She's had enough. She's breaking down. She's already miserable and depressed, and she's cutting up all the pictures of her family because she's like, fuck this family, we're done. But her brother is there and he stops her. He's just there. Tipper has gone to hunt down Jonas, his business. They're in the office and she's like, so you're sleeping with little kids now? And he's like, call security. This man don't want to take accountability or face anything. He just keeps getting away with everything and it's just infuriating me. And I was like, he needs to go soon. We got too many episodes to go. We're only on 16, guys. She leaves the office. She finds out she's got gonorrhea too. She says, you need to bring your husband in. So you need to bring in your husband so you can get like treatment. All right, turns up to time of weakness for poor Matume. Turns up to the Gamora house and tries to console her and tries to confront her as a sister cousin. She's like, I'm sorry what I did. It was a cry for help. And she's like, you know what? Fuck off. I'm not trying to deal with it right now. And I don't blame the daughter. I don't blame Matume to send her sister cousin away. Sarah's upset because she got rejected and she thought everything would be butterflies and candy and whatever and rainbows. And she calls on the one person that she can depend on, and it's not her father, Jonasy. It's not even her mother, Essie. She calls freaking, what's his name? She calls Magesh her fake father, and they end up playing golf together and he's consoling her and she's like, you know what, you're more of a father than my father has actually been. You've always been there for me, even though it's fake. I still feel like you've been there for me. And she is like just venting everything, and she was only learned golf so I could spend time with my dad, Jonasy, and like he would be proud of me and there's something we could bond over together, which is very sweet but also very tragic because he don't give a fuck. She is like whacking. These kids are being damaged, they're falling apart. And even though Magesh was part of this problem, he's like, I'm so sorry, baby, I'm sorry. So Joyce is in the kitchen and she finds the pictures being cut up in the trash and she takes them out and she's like, what the hell? Who the hell did this? Jonasy comes in and he's like, why are you cutting up our family pictures, Joyce? What the hell? And then Tumi walks in and she's like, it was me because I hate you. Points in Joyce's face. You should discipline your children for speaking up. Menzies there trying to protect his family and protect Matu. Bullying Menzie to grow up, to be a man. He's always beating on him. It's just abuse. Jonasy tries to go into his bed and sleep next to his wife. That's crazy. After all this, I don't think so, sir. And she's like, you know what? The maids have prepared a room for you over there in the guest house. You can sleep over there because I'm not sleeping with you. There is no love between us. I don't love you no more. You need to get the fuck out. And he's like, I'm not going anywhere. And the next morning, he's next to the pool, chilling as if he ain't done nothing wrong. No accountability, no sorry. 3 of them. We got that are just there staring at him like, the audacity, he's still here. Kids are like, what are you going to do? And he's like, well, I can't. He's refused to leave. I can't force him out. Can I? I can't do anything. I can't force him out, literally. And the mother's like, you know, this marriage is going to kill you. And I'm like, bitch! All this time, you were like, you need to dress better. Deal with it because you've dealt with Matipa before. You can do it again. She's been given the worst advice and now she wants to turn around and say it's going to kill her. You've also been part of the problem. All the adults need to be thrown away and you've just all destroyed the children. The sister, she was leaving for college anyways, but she decides to leave early and her mom says goodbye. She's like, I can't stay in this house anymore. I need to leave a bit early, but I love you, mom. See you. She's off for 3 years. She's gone. Joyce and Matipa are talking about it, STD. They can't believe it. They're devastated. They can't believe this has happened. And she's just like, she said, I'm over it. I'm over him and I'm over it and just annoyed. And we cut to Joyce in the kitchen. She picks up the borax. Borax is like a cleaning agent or something in America. I don't know. It's a cleaning agent. It's not supposed to be ingested. But she puts that shit all over his dinner and mixes it in nicely. She's trying to poison the man. Right, she's trying again with the poison. Hopefully she can follow it through. And she does. She makes it all nice and he eats it on up. But then he carries on eating. I'm like, yes, ingest it all. But at the dinner, and Joyce has taken Menzie and the youngest son, who's a bit older now, he's probably like 5 or 4 now, but she's taken them to a room. She's like, you know what, let's just dance like we used to. And they put on the lamest music and it doesn't even suit the dancing. But whatever they're dancing, the volume's turned all the way up. She knows exactly what she's doing because she doesn't want to hear the commotion that's going on downstairs. Jonas sits down into the couch and has some cognac or something in his hand, some alcoholic drinks. He takes a sip and then he feels like something retching in his stomach, like gagging and foaming at the mouth and frothing, and he's closing his eyes are rolling back. He needs to go to the hospital, all right, but they can't hear him because the music's playing and they're having a good time. Maid found him and she's calling, she's like, Joyce! They ain't hear nothing, and he gets escorted to the hospital. Cut to the hospital, Joyce is there and she's talking to the doctor and she's like, how is he? And he's like, woken up yet? And she's like, she's crying. It's like, what does that mean? Does it mean he won't make it? She's waiting for answers. She wants to know if he's going to be dead. But the doctor's like, Mr. Gamora's ingested a lot of poison. And the way he looks at her is like very suspicious. He don't trust that one. He's like, it was you, wasn't it? Basically, he knows it was her. Do you know anyone that may suspect that has poisoned him? But he can't let anyone else know, i.e. the police or anyone else know that she tried to poison him. So she pays him off secretly behind the scenes. Okay, she's like, don't tell Mr. Gamora. Don't tell him that he was poisoned. All right, thank you very much. Yikes. Meanwhile, we're back at the extended family home of Essie, Sarah and Freedom. Sarah has finally let go of her father. She's realised after spending time with her fake father, Magesh, she realises her father ain't shit. So she lets him go and she brings in a photo frame of Magesh and puts it on the table instead. And she's like, he's more like better. That's better. Like very happy with herself. She's let him go. She realises who's more important in her life. And the mom's like, she sighs because she's feeling sorry for herself. Jonas, he wakes up in the hospital and everybody, his brother's there and his wife's there. The doctor tells him that he's had a heart attack and not been poisoned. She's in the clear for now. Whew, and I'm like, thank God. So Jonas is back at home healing and recovering from his heart attack, and he's been given the pills for gonorrhea because remember he still has gonorrhea and he still has to take the pills. And she's like, oh, you need to take your pills, and he's like, just leave them on the table there, and he goes to sleep. And I'm like, bitch, you have gonorrhea. Do you not love sex? I know he was very sexually active. It makes no sense if you don't take care of yourself. Anyways, Magesh seems to have found himself a girlfriend finally. He's very happy and he was on the phone and came to visit Sarah and drop off the money to Essie because Jonasy sends money to Essie. He helps provide for their lifestyle. Still living in squalor compared to the immediate family. But anywho, she seems to be very jealous. Like she wants the attention of Magesh, her fake father. So I'm like, oh, this is not healthy, girl. Like, you can't just jump from one to the other. Like, you need to sort yourself out, you poor child. And Jonasy is sick and he's calling for Joyce. He's like, Joyce! And she's not there. And then we see Menzie come in. He's all dressed up, all snazzy, right? He's got an attitude and he takes the alcohol and drinks it. And he's like, while you're drinking my drink, go and get me a drink. And he's like, go get yourself a drink, and walks out. So you can see Menzie changing. He's becoming more angry, more aggressive, and more rebellious towards his father because he hates his father. I said, get your own drink. You're still scared of girls. You're a weakling. So he's still berating him even now in like when he's sick. Take your damn pills and shut up. Meanwhile, Matapat is trying to find more work and a job of her own, but she can't find anything. She's failing all the meetings. It's just not going very well for her. She is still a career woman who wants a career. Is trying to get a hold of finances because she doesn't love that man anymore, clearly. She's like, I want out and I want his money. And he's got an account to take out a large lump sum of money. She needs his permission. But the woman's like, oh, sorry, I know you're married, but I can't give you permission. She's like, well, would you like me to call him? She's like threatening her, saying, and she manages to transfer the money and she says it will take a few hours. Matipa's nervous because she's like, oh. Menzie tries to approach Lindani at the bar and said, like, why? What is it that you love about your father? Like, what does he have that I don't have? Why do you like him so much? And he tries to kiss her up and hug her up and she's like, get away from me. I'm like, this is pathetic. I loved you. I wanted to take care of you. How could you do this? It's just messed up. But he's also still chasing after Lindani. The man's aggressive, like toxic. Speaking of toxicity, we're back at the Gamora's home and Jonasy is pleading for attention from Joyce. You're my wife. How could you be treating me like this? And she's like, you brought this whore, and you've done everything to me. How could you do this to me? Remember, I made you. That triggered him. He grabbed her up. There's 2 J's in this company and one is yours and one is mine, meaning I'm gonna take half, bitch. He's angry. He's on a rampage. Jonasy has somehow made his way to Matipa. He's somehow ended up at her place and she's like, where have you been? You've been neglecting your children. You haven't seen me for ages. Like, I might as well be dead. In fact, I wish you were dead. He came on a rampage. He's like, I was at the hospital and you didn't come to check on me. I was sick. And she's like, you haven't seen me for weeks. How am I supposed to know? Like, I didn't know. Freaking hell, you haven't spoken to me. You haven't seen your kids. It's all about him, just conceited. He was like, I was sick. And she's like, well, I was sick too. Do you not remember? You gave me gonorrhea. What the hell? He says, do you want daddy to show who he is? And he starts kissing her. They're having a whole argument. She's pissed off and she's offended and disgusted. She's like, what the fuck? And slaps him across the face. And then he slaps her back and he starts beating into her. He takes off his belt. He's dragging her into the room. A lot of DV is happening, and it could be very triggering for people watching this. It was a terrible moment and it just wouldn't stop. It just kept going, and they're fighting and she's just trying to escape and he's just lashing into her. It's episode 18 and we found out that Matipa did in fact unfortunately get beaten up, and she's got black eye. She's got like a gash and a black eye and everything. And the same thing has happened to Joyce. He beat Joyce and then he went to Matipa to beat Matipa because he's being rejected and he can't handle the rejection. He thinks sex is love, so he's being rejected by these women and he doesn't think that they love him anymore because, well, which they don't really. And that rejection he's taking out physically because he doesn't know how to handle his emotions because he's a baby, not in touch with his feelings. And that is something I will talk about in a story time soon. But let's carry on with. He's acting like everything's fine with Joyce. He kisses her on the head when he's like, we're fine. It's like in an obsession, like controlling way. It's not in a loving way. And he kisses her on the head. And I legitimately feel very scared for her in this moment. And it's like he could just put his hands on you anytime and you can't do anything to get him away from the house. You could call the police, but remember, she's so hell-bent on keeping image, saving face, that she'd rather put up with a beating than protect herself legally. People out there that suffer with this kind of thing, and to anyone, I'm gonna put some links down below. People just really are afraid of being killed so much that they won't get police involved. Scary. Anyway, we cut to the house with Magesh and Sarah. Magesh is such a good fake father figure. He comes and he gives Sarah a laptop. I don't know why, I guess he feels a fatherly bond and probably feels sorry for putting her through this as well. And she's so thankful and happy, and she goes, well, at least help me set it up before you go. And he sets it up and he's so happy, and she's really happy too. And there's a moment where they get close and they're hugging and she leans in and tries to kiss him. And I'm like, whoa. I knew she's kind of like obsessed, confused, and she's directing her feelings in a very unhealthy way. She's not in love with him, but she's just very confused right now. Menzi, the son, is not doing so well at work. He's just very angry. All the abuse that he's received from his father is catching up with him. The way that he handles women, the aggression. He started fighting now. He tried to fight somebody at work, and Freedom had to pull him away to help. He was going to literally try and kill this man. Now, thanks to his father, enough. Obviously, that's where she draws the line. DV is where she draws the line. She's like, I can't love him no more. A man that can do that to me, put his hands on me, I can't love him no more. Like, I need to figure out what to do. Can you take care of the twins while I go and run some errands? I need to figure out what to do. And she's like, okay. This is where they reveal to each other that Jonas went on a rampage that night, and they've both been affected by this, and they're just both crying and just devastated. Magesh then tells Essie, you need to help your daughter, and you need to ask Jonasy to help her because she's in trouble. She's a troubled soul. She tried to kiss me and I'm like a father figure to her, so what the hell? Magesh comes to visit Joyce, and Joyce is like, I need your help. I need your help to get him out of the house. Please help me. Because as a woman, she must feel like she's not strong enough physically. She's not strong enough to get him out of the house. He just gave her a whole beating. She's scared. She's afraid. She needs help and support, and she doesn't want to call the police because image. So she calls him, Magesh, to help him get out of the house. So he packs his bags, chucks them out. He ends up coming back home, Jonasy does, and Magesh is like, you need to go. If this is enough, you're done. It's over. And he's, you're gonna keep me out my own home? You're really gonna try and keep me out my own home? Jonasy tries to like hit him, right, punch him, but Magesh is swift, you know. He like ducks him out and just gets him out. And he's shocked, to be honest. Jonasy's shocked because he's never had anyone stand up to him before, and everybody is starting to rebel, and he ain't used to it. He's losing control. He's losing his grip on everyone, and he realizes he's losing power. So he's just like, fine, I'm out, whatever. They lock the doors, they shut the doors. He's out the house. Thank God. This cretin and leech of a man tries to go to Essie's place. Essie's there cuddling with her lover on the sofa. What the hell? Who's this? You're cheating on me. She's like, you got two other wives and a kid that you've been sleeping with. What the hell are you talking about? Yes, this is my lover. Jonas is ready to go again with the hands, man. He's ready to fight. Young lover, mind you, stands up, takes out the pew pew, and he's like, do we have a problem? Man grabs up his bags and shuts the door real quick. He is gone. And I was like, good. And he's like, are you okay, my love? And she's like, yes, I'm fine, baby. And I'm like, good. Get rid of him, cut the cancer out. Menzie comes in to see his mother and they're having a chat, and he's like, are you going to accept him back? Because you just can't do it. He's going to beg you back, I know it, and you're going to take him back. And she's like, I'm not going to do it. It's over for good. He's free. He's out the house. I just wanted to tell you that we kicked him out. He's gone for good. The nanny walks in with the twins because she's been helping taking care of them, because obviously Matipa has gone to run the errands, and she's like, where is she? Checking in the bags that Matipa has left for the twins, like what they call diaper bag thing. And he finds a letter and it says, sorry, I can't do this anymore. Like, he's put his hands on me. I've got nothing. And I think the twins will be best safe with you. I want to start again, but I can't start again with the twins. I can't. I know that they always have a home with you and they're always safe with you. So please take care of them. Thank. Peaced out, and she left. I was kind of shocked. I was like, oh no. Oh, deferred it. She didn't get the money. So now she's got no means and way of taking care of the twins, literally. So in the letter though, she could have wrote like, I'll come back for them one day or something, like shit, but she didn't say that. And I was like, wow, she go. Menzie and his mother Joyce are looking for Matipa. They go to some stuff for the twins and they can't find Matipa, but they're going to get stuff for the twins anyways. And is there with his sugar baby, Lindani. Both of them are just like, what the fuck? It's awkward. Jonasie is like, well, I heard what Matipa's done and I want to thank you for taking care of the twins. You're a good woman. I would have shot in my box. What can she do? She's just scoffing. This piece of work here. The time to die? No, it's not, sadly. We're only in episode 19. So they leave to go and get the stuff from the rest of the house. Jonasie sits down and Lindani sits on his lap and he has the audacity to say, Matipa, Essie, Joyce, they're all going to get what's coming to them. I don't know who's possessed him. The devil, we know who. Everybody's been financially cut off. Obviously not Joyce, because she gets half of everything anyways, and they are still married. So she has not been cut off because she can access everything. But Matipa, cut off. The brother, Magesh, because he helped throw him out of the house, cut off. Only person that's getting the money right now is the sugar baby, Lindani, and she's happy. She's buying cute little outfits. She's like, thank you, daddy. He's like, go on a shopping spree, get what you like, and she's loving it. She's like, yes. She's gone out to go shopping and he's still at home, and somebody rings the door, ping pong, this random woman. She's like, oh, I'm looking for Matipa, is she here? And he's like, no, she's left, she's not here, right? She doesn't live here right now, she's not here. And she's like, well, I'm kind of thirsty. Is it okay if I come in and get some water, please? She's like flirting with him and he's like, okay. And I'm like, oh no, really? Help yourself, really? Flirting, he's touching her leg, she's touching him, they end up sleeping together, and I'm like, oh my god. And I know what plot it is she gonna stab him while she's having sex with him? But something, this is too I'm like, is this part of Matipa's revenge, like all involved in it? I don't know, but it's just weird. It's a weird moment. Something's happening. Magesh has been cut off. He's still got finances and he actually feels quite free because he's no longer his brother's lapdog anymore, and he's like, you know what, I could do what I want and I'm good. I don't care if he's cut me off from my job. I'm okay, I'm happy, I'm free, I can do what I want. Lindani and Jonasie are having a good time. They're having parties and stuff, and she's like the eye candy in the party while he's like rubbing up on other girls. She doesn't care because she's still got the money, obviously, and he's married to like God knows how many other people anyway. So she doesn't care as long as she gets paid, as long as she gets to spend his money. And she's like, you know what, even though you're taking your medication, he's there coughing. She's like, God, are you okay? But she's like, the medication isn't helping, you're still coughing. It sounds pretty bad. He ends up going to the doctors to get checked up, and the doctor's like, good news, your gonorrhea has cleared up. Bad news, you have HIV. Hello? Oh shit. This is how he dies. I'm like, this is how he dies. Lindani's living her best life. She's going out to Pilates. Wait, where are you going? You're supposed to be taking care of me. And she's like, I'm going to Pilates, honey. Your soup is in the oven. Bye, toodles. She's gone. She's living the rich life. And he looks unwell. He looks quite sickly because he's got HIV. And he calls upon his brother and he's like, you know what? I know that we haven't been on the best terms, but I need your help, brother, because as you can see, I'm not very well. I don't want to lose the company. I need you to hold down the fort and step in on my behalf, please, brother, please. I'm just gonna ask you this. That brother is nice because they've struggled together and they were brought up in the struggle, and I think they've kind of like bonded through the struggle, and they're blood brothers, and he still loves his brother, so he agrees. And he tries to get Sarah and Menzie on board. Dad, uncle spouts a whole bunch of crap to Sarah and Menzie and says, basically, we came up from nothing and now can't lose this. We need to be grateful to your father because regardless, he's a hustler. So we need to band together to keep this legacy alive because we worked so hard for it. And so they get won over just by him, and they end up joining the company. So Jonesy is sick and he calls Joyce and he's like, I just want to say you're a good woman. And it sounds like he's on his deathbed. It's admitted to hospital. They all go to hospital for him, but he's not there. He's been removed by Lindani. Lindani doesn't care about him as much anymore, just wants his money. Essie is still in love with him, it seems, because she knew him from day one. So she has that sentimental, I still care about him. I might not love him, but I still care about him a lot. So she brings around food for him, but he's not there, or Lindani won't let him see him, or she just says, leave the food there kind of thing. You're a gold digging whore and we hate you, basically. But Lindani don't care. She's like, okay, anyways, bye. I'm guessing about 3 years or so has passed because Joyce has gone back to university to get her degree. She's graduated. Everybody's celebrating her. She's holding a party. They're all here to celebrate. Menzie seems to be doing well. He's thriving in the company and he is having a lot of sex. He's clearly lost his virginity and he is a playboy now. He just doesn't care. And he's got a little bit more swag to him. He knows how to talk to girls a little bit more. He's got some charm. Somehow it's just happened. He's transformed, okay, clearly. All really have pulled together for the sake of the company, so the company is doing well. While we cut to Jonesy in the bed, he's coughing. He's got some random bottle of liquid in his hand, been banished to some guest room or something. I'm like, oh, sugar. He's going through it, coughing. I'm like, finally. Here is your punishment for everything that you've done. But it's also very neglectful because where is Lindani? She's not there. He is suffering in his bed. He's crawling out the bed. Lindani, Lindani. He's crawling on. You better like and share. You guys have been talking so long that I had to swap my mic out. Crazy. Anyway, the man is struggling. He's crawling on the floor. You can see Lindani in the kitchen and she's trying to ignore him. She's about to head out and go to some party or something. She's like, whatever. Lindani! And then she's like, oh, he's screaming. I kind of feel a bit guilty. So she goes to check. The man has shit himself. It's so sad to see. Of course, I don't like Jonesy, but he may be horrible and terrible, but he hasn't killed anyone. That's the only justification. He doesn't deserve to have shitty pants. That's pretty terrible. I hate him at the same time, but she helps him and cleans him up. She puts him in the shower and she hoses him down. She doesn't scrub him tenderly or nicely. She just She helped him and good. And to be honest, he doesn't deserve nice treatment, but at least he gets a wash and clean. So I was like, okay, that's good enough. I wouldn't leave him if he was shitting up the place either. Anyways, meanwhile, it's back to Joyce's celebration. Leaving, everyone's clapping for her at the party, cheersing. Everyone's reuniting and talking and kind of trying to... Sarah tries to make up with Matumi, sister, cousins, but she ain't having it. She's like, no, how could you do that to me? That was effed up. And she's like, I was going through a tough time. She rejects it. She's like, no. Everyone's cheering for her and clapping for her. Who ruins it? Just Lindani comes in, wheeling Jonesy into the vicinity, and I'm like, oh my god, no, she did not. And she's dressed up in a party gear, all dressed up, and she's like a sugar baby. She's dressed up and she's like, I've done my shift, it's your turn now. And I'm like, god, she just dropped him off like a baby. And she drew the line after the shitty pants. She's like, I can't take care of this man no more, although she's barely feeding him or giving him water. It's pretty bad. It's like an old people's home. Amongst this, Essie is can never attain him, can never have a full part of him. Everyone else has had a piece of him. Essie has only had him sexually. That's it. Everyone's had him sexually, but she doesn't get much more from him than that, really. Still trying to see him and meet him because she just genuinely cares. Everyone else is like, bye. Seems that Joyce is in a new relationship because she's walking down the stairs and she's got phone in hand. She's like, I love you too, and hangs up, right? He's in a wheelchair at the bottom of the stairs, just alone. He's not even in bed. He's just coughing, mashed up at the bottom of the house. He's back in the house now. Menzie ain't feeling it. He is traumatized. And now this whole spiel starts, and I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. It feels too much like the movie Diary of a Mad Black Woman. That scene where she's like, is it Diana? I forgot what her name was. Where she's like, oh, she's not there. And she throws him in the bath to wash him. That whole scene, I don't know if it was a nod to it, but it was too close. And I was like, oh no, this is a bad ripoff. I hate this. And make it good. It's just cheesy. Lidani will take care of me. And she's like, oh, let's call her. And gets the phone out. And she's like, oh, she's not answering. Shall we try her again? It's the same kind of vibe. And then she's like, you are truly pathetic. You think she'd come back for you? And pushes him out the wheelchair. And I'm like, oh shit. Girl, though. I know he's abused her and pushed her to the edge, but don't abuse him. Just kill him off. It's fine. Anywho, the man, Jonassy, is dying. He's suffering in bed. He's heavy breathing and she can hear it all. She's close. She's not far from him, coughing, spluttering. And she's just getting trauma flashbacks of all the times that he aggressively put his hands on her. And I know she wants to fuck him up, but she can't. He's dying. And so morally, it's not correct. Because Matumi's back from college, she goes to Jonassy, she goes to her father's house. She's helping out, unfortunately, because even though she still kind of loves her father, or she just feels bad not helping him because he's in desperate need. The man's dying. So she goes to his house where the sugar baby, her ex-best friend Lindani is, and they come face to face. She's like, you whore, you little slut. And she goes, what do you call me? It's like, you little slut. She's like, how dare you get out of my house? And she's like, your house? And she's like, yeah, he's put my name on the house. I was like, this Jonassy, are you a fool? You're a fool for the panani, innit? Like, okay, cool, but like you kind of deserve it. But then you're taking away from the rest of the family who actually should, like the children should get it, not you, Lindani. So I'm like, I get it. Wise move, smart move as a sugar baby, but also you're purely evil and the money should not go to you, it should go to the children. So I'm like, Matumi's had enough. She's like, it's time to fuck up my ex-best friend. And she is laying into her. She's dragging her. They get into a fight. She mashes her up. And I'm like, go, Matumi. Get that anger out because it was a long time coming. 3 years of that, man. 3 years of waiting. And she got her just desserts. Hopefully she loses the house too. Joyce is cleaning up her daughter, but also low-key proud because, yeah, stand up for yourself. And I'm proud with her. And she was like, do you know that the house is now in Lindani's name? And Joyce is like, he wouldn't do that. Would he? And Matumi's like, would he? And they're like, I see trying to get to the toilet. Somehow he's managed to walk. He's been in a wheelchair all this time. He's been in a bed, but clearly he can kind of walk. And he's trying to get to the toilet. And he's just like, and we see Menzie and he's like, do you need some help? And he's like, fuck off. I don't need your help. Get out of my way. Piss off. They say piss off a lot in this. He's like, piss off. Get out of my way. Like, I can do it. I can do it. And then he almost stumbles and falls. And Menzie reaches out his hand and he's like, okay, I'll take your help. So he helps him into the toilet. And from then, that's like a gateway of them. He starts supporting and helping his father out of pity. Essie is still trying her hardest to give the man some food. That's all she wants to do. She wants to see him, support him and give the man food. I think she's the only one that kind of truly, really cares about him. But still, Joyce has that pride and will not let her see him, even though she's married to him too, but she's just not accepted. She's the black sheep of the family. She's never been accepted and never will. She feels completely betrayed and she's like, you are not seeing your husband. I don't give a fuck. Go away. I'll take the food, but go. Menzie and Jonassy are getting close. They're bonding over women and how they're so emotional, yada, yada, yada. And she's like, you know what? It's really good to talk to you. I'm glad that we've had this time together. Like, it's been such a long time and they're bonding, getting closer. It comes around that it's his birthday day. He's in his wheelchair and Matumi is trying to care for him and give him some water and she's like, drink up. And she's like, you know what, Dad? You can say it, you know. And he's like, say what? In my head, I'm like, obviously say sorry because you fucked up your kid. Hello. But he's like, say what? You can say, my daughter, Daddy is sorry. Girl, you ain't gonna ever get it. And she doesn't. He's like, I'm your father. What does that even mean? No, you haven't been a father. You really aren't a father. In what way? DNA, that's it. Lord Jesus, this man's never going to change. Matumi, let him go. You know what? I forgive you. And I'm like, good. Forgive him so you can move on. It's about you. Find your happiness. Forget about the devil man. Don't worry about him, okay? You live your best life, girl. And they're all reminiscing and he's talking about their story, like what Joyce used to call him, like some dog or something, and they all find it funny. I'm like, that is not a funny story. You are still a dog. You have not changed. But anyways, Joyce turns up with a cake on the table and he's like, what's this? And she's like, it's for you, it's your birthday. All of his children gather round and start singing him happy birthday. And he calls out his youngest, not the youngest, comes and blows out the cake, barely. And everybody cheers. Maybe he feels a little tiny bit of warmth in his dead, cold heart, maybe. And you hear a voiceover and he's like, if there's one person who's always made my birthday special, it's you, Joyce. And I'm like, oh, please, bitch. Joyce comes to check up on him because the man's sick, obviously, and it's nighttime. And that's always a hard time because laboured breathing when you're sleeping. And she's looking at him and he's like, she's checking him. He's still breathing. She's, maybe she's just checking for when he dies. I don't know. But she's like in the room and she's like, okay, he's all right. She's trying to leave and he's like, wait. And he's like, please stay with me. Just come here. Get in the bed. I beg you, please, please, please. I don't feel good. And he's like, I'm scared. I'm scared, Joyce. Stay with me. He said, I'm going to leave you here on earth. And it's like, go, bitch. Hurry up. Get to going. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, he's talking as if he's still significant. That's crazy. I'm going to leave you. Go. Nobody wants you here. Maybe Essie. She's like, don't speak. Because he starts coughing. And she's like, don't speak, just lay here together, J&J. And I'm like, oh God. And then we go through a memory reel with sad music like it's something. And I'm like, yeah, you've really been through strife with this man. It's the next morning and we hear screaming and crying. Mr. Gamora, Jonasy is dead. I don't think I'd ever be so happy. That's kind of twisted, but he's dead. Yeah. But anyways, she is just shocked. She gets out of her bed and she looks around and she starts screaming, but then she goes to her knees and she smiles. And I'm like, oh yeah, girl, you free. You free, girl. We're heading to the finale, episode 22. We see Essie, who always gets the remnants of this man. He never gets the full attention. He only gets his full attention when he's dead. And she's cleaning the dead body in the morgue. This woman loved this man and she never got the full attention of him. It's just so sad. But the music is very lovely. It's like Zulu and there's a lot of clicking in between. I'm like, oh, I've never heard this before. I was feeling like my ancestors. I'm not Zulu, but like, you know what I mean? The kitchen, everyone's preparing for the funeral, right? And the kids are in the kitchen. And Matumi is like, you can at least pretend to be sad. And he's like, what should I do? Like, cry. He said, I'll cry at your command if you want me to. I'll even beg him to watch over us. But the only thing he's watching over is the strip club. They don't fuck with this man, even in death. Guys, when he was alive, you cared so much. But when he's dead, you don't care. So what's happening? What's going on with you? And he's like, it's complicated. Don't ask me. She said, you don't have to be like Dad, you know, because you're better. Now, even in death, right, this man is still causing havoc in death. Essie wants to have a funeral ceremony for his body. And she's like, you know what? She says to her son, forget Joyce and what she wants. She's always had the say over me. Not this time. I'm going to give him a funeral to remember because I'm the only one that really cares about him anyways. So I'm going to give him the send off and I'm going to get to that body. It's a race for the body, everybody. She said, I didn't even get to see him, right? I didn't even get to forgive him. So now is my time. My time to shine. It's just, everyone's terrible. Anyways, Joyce is dressed in black with her mother by her side. Funeral parlor. She's at the morgue or the funeral parlor and she's like, I've come to retrieve my husband's body. And she's like, oh, Mrs. Gamora has already taken it. And she's like, I'm Mrs. Gamora, what do you mean? She's like, Essie Gamora. And she's like, oh, hell no, bitch. Oh, hell no, bitch. Absolutely not. She's not going to ruin this for me. Absolutely not. She goes crazy. Now the hunt begins. She's hunting for Essie to get her husband's body. She is losing her mind, all right? She's cussing on the phone. She's like, where the hell is Essie? We need to get the body back. Cut to Essie. She's arranged the funeral already. Everybody's gathered, right? She is in tears. Sarah's crying. She's on the floor. You know how black people do. You know, just freaking all over the place. Loud, noisy, extra. They're chanting. She's on her knees crying. Tears are flowing. She's like, Sarah looks over her shoulder. Who rocks up? Joyce and the posse. He's like, Essie, who the fuck do you think exactly, huh? And the posse is not the family. It's policemen. Okay, she's rolled up with the law. She takes the body. Coffin's being lowered into the grave. She said, take that ish out right now. This is going up, all right. They're taking the body back. But Menzies does do something sweet for Sarah. He tells her a lie, a sweet lie, and says, you know, on his deathbed, he told me that for us to take care of you, Sarah. So don't worry. She was crying and she seemed kind of relieved and happy at that. So that was a very sweet token. Blatantly a lie, but he did that to put her soul at peace and to rest at least and hush her so they can take the body. You know your father, he's trash. Anyways, it's a new day and it's time for the official burial funeral for the terrible monster. Present day, she's dressed up in white. She's going to put the shades on. She's ready to say goodbye. And Matipa's there. How did she know she turned up? She's been missing for years. The kids are with the nannies. She tries to greet the kids. The kids don't know her. Of course, they don't know who the mother is. She goes, mother has returned. The kids don't know her. Matipa, what are you doing, girl? We can just stay in the background like, what the heck? Well, I guess she got to try. And wants to see this man off like, bah. We've seen all that scene and she's still talking when she leans over and she goes, look at us now, separated. You will never break my heart again. With the hard F, motherfucker. And Joyce signals Matipa to come and sit on her family side because she's been missing, but she's still family. So it's like, she still fucks with her. And Lindani is the loudest one in there. She starts crying. Oh, Daddy. And I'm like, what the frick, girl? And somebody says, Jezebel, get out. And she gets casted out of the church. Are you even there? What the hell? But I guess she's sad because Daddy's money isn't there anymore. Joyce starts singing, decide to sing, she's singing, but it gets interrupted. In rocks Essie and Sarah, but they get some chairs from the back and they pull them all the way up to the front, and it's such a spectacle. But they are part of this family, and they finally need to be acknowledged, and they make it known we will be acknowledged, and they sit at the front next to all of the other wives and the family. A mess. While the singing and everything's happening, Menzies can't handle it no more. He's got mixed, confused feelings. He needs to get the hell out of there, and he needs some fresh air. Who does he bump into? Lindani. I totally understand. Matumi gets up and says a few words, and she calls on all the children. And remember, Sarah's there, and she even calls on Sarah too. So I guess this is them working towards healing and her accepting her apology and working towards being sisters and not just sister cousin, the family, and acknowledging Sarah, which is all she ever really wanted, to be honest. And so she's happy to stand with everybody, and they all stand together while Matumi says a few bullshit nice words about him, like, you know, this mother taught us this and this mother taught us that. And our father, yeah, he played around, he had some bad sides, but he was kind of good sometimes. And it's like, what the? We cut to Joyce in bed. Remember, he was on his deathbed and he requested Joyce to join him, and what she said to him, and she said, you hit me, you betrayed me, and then you arred me. And then it cuts back to the woman that Joyce met in jail. Remember, they became like besties and they were talking. Well, it turns out she had HIV. So she asked DM eventually, she DM'd the girl she met in jail to go and sleep with him and give him HIV. So it was her plan all along. And he was like shocked. She wants the very thing that he loved to do, to kill him. And she goes, Menzies has been playing you like a fiddle. Basically, he's been cozying up to his dad so he could change the will before he died. And that's why he was being so nice and helping him out. Signed everything to go to Menzies, thinking that his soul was going to go to heaven or something, and he was doing a good deed and it's his birthright, whatever. But she said, Menzies will never be like you. And then the music cuts in, but then we see him sleeping with Lindani. Back shots in the toilet and everything. And I'm like, we're at church. What? Hello? I'm just like, oh no, he better not get her pregnant. So I don't think this is the end. Maybe he's actually going to turn out like his father. So it's kind of bittersweet because obviously Joyce got her revenge. Essie got nothing. Essie lost, like everybody lost. All of them lost. All of them are losers. Every single one of them, anyone connected to him are losers. But at least he passed away, so they're kind of free of it. But there's a lot of trauma that he left behind because of his bad actions and because of the mother's bad actions. And that's something that was very interesting to me because even the author said that she wanted to focus on the women and their reactions and interaction and lack of communication, how that affected their decisions, affected each one of them, and being the center of the story. It's like the driving force and like the problem of the story. It was still about the women. She said through this, she wanted to create healing through discussing things like trauma and the cycle of trauma, oppression, brokenness and pain. She wanted to create a space where people could have these discussions. I really loved seeing the fashion, even though it's not to my taste. It's interesting to see what's classed as Zimbabwe fashion. The wigs and the hair were terrible, but also it was fun that they switched them up so it kept it fresh. So I enjoyed seeing that out. I loved the music and how authentic and native it was. That just made it seem all so much more like different. I love the food that they eat, from the food that they eat, the music that they play, like small celebrations and stuff, how they celebrate the attire, the music and the tribal stuff. Take traditions, like I said, with the shields and the spears. It was amazing. Feel like each wife like represented something. I feel like Joyce was like social standing and image was very important for her. All of them had some form of self-abandonment, but she was afraid to be alone, so she'd do anything to protect that bubble that she made. And she was kind of like an enabler towards him, I think. Her kids, well, all the kids were collateral damage, let's just say that. But she was like the ride or die chick, the day one that would stay by his side, and she just knew about just endurance. All she got was the bad side, the negativity of holding something down, the struggle. She was like the struggle lover. Matipa represented the modern woman, the career woman, the go-getter, but she thought she was the prize, but actually she was not. Her vagina was. And literally, he's just obsessed with sex. That's what he thought was love. And Lindani is the sugar baby, but somebody who has low morale. She just discards anybody who's no longer useful to her. She does not care. The acting sometimes was a bit, ooh, but you know what? I ain't going to pick it apart because it's the first of its kind. And I hope we get to see more of what South Africa has to offer because I'm already hooked. I'm like, yes, more please. Representation, man. Could have been my uncle. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's not like, God forbid that's happening, but adjacent, you know, not polygamy, but adjacent, you know, we've got cheaters out there. in our families. We all know one or two. That's another conversation that we need to have. But anyway, but even then, have some self-respect, kind of conversations on the bullshit that we put up with, and we shouldn't have to, and we shouldn't do it, and we should always choose ourselves first over any man. Amen. Protect the good ones. Just goes to show how a parent's mistakes and behaviors, how you raise your kids, what you expose them to, how you treat them, and how you treat yourself also. And it really does matter. That lost the most are those poor old kids, because none of them did anything but be born to some scummy father with some women that just didn't love themselves. Really, the whole gonorrhea part did not shock me, because like if I found out that my husband had an affair, I think one of the first things I do after like leaving his ass would get myself checked up, because you don't know where they've been. So what was crazy to me also, I'm not trying to blame the women, because obviously he is the problem, but still, to protect myself and my health and my safety, I would immediately be going to the doctors to get myself checked up. It's only thanks to Matipa, because she just had babies, that she was even getting her body checked up. Otherwise, she would have never known. But none of them thought, oh, okay, he's cheating. Maybe I should protect myself and see if I'm okay. It's just very strange to me. Sexual health, people, let's talk about it. A lot more that I can say and discuss, but we will keep the conversation going in the comments below. Have you watched this? Are you going to watch this afterwards? Please let me know. I'd love to hear about your thoughts and add anything to the conversation that I haven't already discussed. Hopefully you enjoyed this recap. It took hours. It took about 5 hours, guys. I've done 22 episodes for you in a short amount of time. You're welcome. Give this a like, give it a hype, and share with anybody that's interested in this or can't be asked to watch episode 1 to 22. Enjoy the journey with me, okay? And I'm going to love you and leave you and end it right here. And I'll see you very soon next time with a story time that kind of links to this. Bye-bye.